You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation. Let the good times roll with the fun of Kernel Baseball in The Zone.
Bring your family, be your friends. This is where the fun never ends. Everybody knows when you're at the game. The good times roll. Hey, Kernels, let the good times roll. Cedar Rapids Kernels, let the good times roll.
With the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, here's the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
Good Friday evening, everyone. We're at Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's another warm, muggy evening, but certainly comfortable with a nice breeze blowing in from right center field, and we'll be welcoming the folks from Intermec this evening. It's their night to shine here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. But the Beloit Snappers took the first game of this four-game weekend series. They rallied for 4 in the top of the 8th to erase a Kernel 4-2 lead and triumphed 6-4 last night in the series opener. That Kernel loss was our 10th in our last 11 games, and it lowered our second half record to 12-15. We're now tied for 7th in the 8-team Western Division second half standings with the Clinton Lumber Kings, 1 game back of both Beloit and Wisconsin, and 3 games behind Kane County, 4 lengths back of Burlington. The leaders in the West are the Swing of the Quad Cities. They are 17-10. Julia Jansen, Kernel Broadcast Assistant, is the host of the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show this evening. On Friday nights, we take questions that you have emailed to me at jrogers@kernels.com and relay your questions to the Kernel manager, Bobby Magallanes. Julia will be back with your questions to Bobby in just a moment. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
We're here on the South Slope Communications pregame show. We're with Bobby Magallanes today with the manager's show as always on Friday. We have questions that you have emailed into us. Our first question, we'll get right to it, is from Gretchen of Lone Tree, Iowa. She would like your comment on a statement that United States Futures game manager George Brett made to last season's Kernel shortstop Brandon Wood. When Brandon Wood told George Brett that he had 28 home runs, Brett said, "I bet you hit about 5 when you were trying to hit a home run and 23 when you were just trying to hit the ball hard." Gretchen wants to know what you would think of George Brett's remark to Brandon Wood.
Well, that's words of wisdom. You got a Hall of Famer telling a future Hall of Famer the ropes of just staying within yourself, and George couldn't be more right than saying that home runs are mistakes. You're not trying to hit a home run. You just happen to hit the ball square on the nose on the good part of the bat, and it happens to go out. And that's what home runs are. It's when, as hitters, when they try to hit home runs, that's when they start to strike out, pop up, and not hit the ball well. But George is right.
Great. Our second question is from Wade of Parnell, Iowa. He's a diehard Cub fan, and he would like to know if you think Derek Lee will be a shoo-in as the National League MVP if he wins the Triple Crown, or do you think it's possible he could win the Triple Crown and not earn the Most Valuable Player award?
They got to give it to him. I mean, that's winning the Triple Crown. I mean, that's how many players have done that in the history of baseball. So I think it's a shoo-in for him to be the MVP if he wins the Triple Crown.
All right, great. Well, we're here with Bobby Magallanes, the manager for the Kernels, here on the Manager's Show on Friday. We'll be back with more from Bobby. This is the South Slope Communications Triple Play pregame show. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball here in the Zone.
Your home is a powerful asset. Managed wisely, it can help you with home improvements, tuition, and other expenses. Wells Fargo Home Equity Financing is the key. With flexible terms, competitive rates, and affordable payments. Our bankers have the knowledge and resources to help you find the best financing for your needs. Talk with a Wells Fargo banker today and see how home equity financing can help you reach your next stage. Wells Fargo, the next stage for housing lender.
Who's that cool cooking man? King of the grill, who's your patio daddy-o?
Your patio daddy-o.
Charbroiled sausage flipping man with the buns, who's your patio daddy-o?
Your patio daddy-o. He only cooks Clements, cause it's #1 for taste and fun.
Econo Foods is the place to save on Clements Fine products this week. Shop Econo Foods for hot pricing on Clements.
We're back on the South Slope Communications Triple Play pregame show. This is broadcast assistant Julia Jansen with Bobby Maggiani for our manager show today. Our third question that we have emailed in is from Brandy of Wellman, Iowa. She read that Texas manager Buck Showalter frowns upon base runners exchanging pleasantries and chit-chatting with first basemen with whom when they reach first base. Brandy would like to know what you think about fraternization with players when they reach base.
Is that against, with the opposing players? Is that the question, the opposing players?
Yeah, with the first baseman when they reach base.
Yeah, I don't like it. As a matter of fact, I tell my players not to do that. This game of baseball is such an intense game where we have to be in tune every single pitch. And I think when you start fraternizing, I think you lose a competitive edge right there. Your aggressiveness goes away. As a matter of fact, you lose focus for one pitch, and one pitch can mean the difference of the game if you lose focus. You can miss a sign. You might be fraternizing, next thing you know, the ball hits you, you're not ready to make the play, make an error, and that can be the difference of the game. I'm not big on that. I can say, hey, how you doing? That's it. But in terms of you start talking and smiling and joking around, I don't believe in that because we're in the heat of competition. That's our enemy, and we're trying to beat them.
That was a great answer. Well, thank you, Bobby. As always, we have a gift certificate to Zio Giano's Spaghetti House for spending some time with us. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks.
This has been the South Slope Communications Triple Play pregame show here on The Zone. We'll be back with the starting lineups. Legendary broadcaster Iowa Brooks and legendary Iowa broadcaster Bob Brooks and the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers, will be back with your starting lineups. This is Colonel Baseball in The Zone.
I live for you, I feed your cats. Fold your undies at the laundromat. Unless you want me to have them dry, I get paid for that. I'll work things out, things get bad. I'll shave my soul patch before I meet your dad. I'll wear a turtleneck to strategically hide my tattoos if I can. I'm quitting the band, I'm waiting your hand. I'm giving you all my time, but this Dr. Pepper is mine. Rich taste, forget it. This Dr. Pepper is mine. One taste and you get it. I'll shop with you, always be true. I'll never share my Dr. Pepper with you. Sorry. This Dr. Pepper is mine. One taste and you get it. So rich. This Dr. Pepper is mine. So refreshing taste, drink it by the case. This Dr. Pepper is mine. Delicious. It isn't even a word.
It's a wonderful night for baseball. The temperature's in the high 80s. A big crowd is here. We have Intermec in the spotlight. We have big groups from the sheet metal contractors of Iowa, Great America Leasing, and a wonderful atmosphere as the Kernels try to even their four-game series with the Minnesota Twin minor leaguers, the Beloit Snappers, who came from behind and posted 4 in the 8th inning last night to wipe out a Kernel 4-2 lead. Beloit has owned the Kernels so far this year. They've beaten us 7 out of 9 times, but this evening, Fernando Rodriguez will try to stem the tide after the Kernels had to use 5 pitchers in last night's series opening loss. I'm John Rogers. Bob Brooks is on assignment in Ames, Iowa to cover the Iowa Shrine High School Football Classic. Julia Jansen, Kernel broadcast assistant, who hosted the South Slope Communications Triple Play show, is down in the Kernel dugout orchestrating the Cost Cutters Dream Team members. She'll join us in just a bit. With the sun shining, let's set the lineups for Game 2 of this 4-game series between the Kernels and the Snappers. Beloit's skipper is one of the youngest in professional baseball, 30-year-old Kevin Bowles. He played in the Chicago Cub organization, and his father, John, a highly respected baseball man, a former skipper of the Florida Marlins. A different look in the Beloit lineup this evening. Leading off is Terrence Patterson in center field. Deacon Burns, one of the best players I've seen in this league. He's only 5'7". Burns is in left field. He had 3 hits last night, and he's batting .417 against Kernel pitching. Deacon Burns is in left field, batting second. Hitting third is the leading run producer in the Midwest League, 73 RBIs. David Winfrey bats third and plays third base for Beloit. From Galesburg, Illinois, he went to school at Illinois State in Bloomington Normal. Batting cleanup, Jeremy Pickrell in right field. Chris Brown will be at first base in this second game of the 4-game series. Brown at first base bats fifth for the Snappers. Hitting sixth, a highly touted shortstop, only 19 years old, Trevor Plouffe, P-L-O-U-F-F-E, Plouffe at short, hitting sixth. Johnny Woodard had the key blow in last night's Beloit come-from-behind win. A 2-run home run in the 8th inning tied the game at 4. Woodard is the designated hitter, batting seventh. Luke Hughes will be at second base this evening, and he'll hit 8 for Beloit, batting ninth and catching Corey Feiner. On the hill is Kyle Waldrop. He's making his third start against the Kernels this year. Waldrop is only 20 years old. He was a Twin third-round draft pick in 2004. He's from Knoxville, Tennessee. Kyle Waldrop, a 6'4", 200-pound right-hander, has won 5 and lost 6. His ERA is 4.67. The league is hitting .276 against Kyle Waldrop. I told you this is his third start against us this season. He's 0-1 with an ERA of almost 8, 7.94. Waldrop in 11 1/3 innings has been tagged for 11 runs, 10 earned, 15 Kernel hits in 11 1/3 off Kyle Waldrop. He is fan 10 and walked only 1. Allen Motor Company, as always, is proud to bring us the Kernel starting lineup, and you probably heard the exciting news by now at Allen Motor Company. General Motors has extended their employee discount pricing offer through August 1st. What that means is it's the best buying opportunity in years at Allen Motor Company, because you pay what General Motors employees pay. You get their employee discount at Allen Motor Company. Let me give you an example of what savings you can accrue right now by going to Allen for that GM employee discount pricing. The best-selling full-size car in America, the 2005 Buick LeSabre, is GM employee discount price for all of us at Allen's for just $21,312. That's the 2005 Buick LeSabre, just $21,312 with the General Motors employee discount price for all of us. Allen's is open late Monday through Thursday, 9 o'clock, to accommodate the extra foot traffic on their campus. Allen Motor Company, I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. Here's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Speedster Alexi Casilla was caught stealing but stole a base as well last night. He's fourth in the league with 28 thefts. Casilla leads off and plays shortstop. Hitting second at third base for the second straight time is Sean Rodriguez, batting second. It's Michael Collins catching and hitting third in the Allen Motor Company order. Batting cleanup, Drew Toussaint in left field. Josh LeBlanc is playing for the first time in over a week. LeBlanc's in center field, hitting fifth. The designated hitter will bat sixth for the Kernels. That's Warner Madrigal. Jordan Wren celebrated his 22nd birthday yesterday, and he had a 2-run single in the Kernel 3-run 6th inning last night that catapulted the Kernels into a 4-2 lead. Wren's bats seventh in right field. Hitting eighth is big Chris Walston at first base. Walston hitting eighth at first. And batting ninth, our guest yesterday on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show last evening, Nate Sutton. Sutton batting ninth. Making his 20th start on the year, 21-year-old right-hander Fernando Rodriguez. Fernando's on the hill for the Kernels. He's won 5 and lost 5. His earned run average is 4.86. Fernando Rodriguez, in 2 starts against Beloit, has not fared well. He's 0-1 with a 9.28 ERA. In 10 2/3 innings, he's surrendered 12 runs, 11 earned to the Snappers, 17 hits, by Beloit in 10 2/3 against Fernando Rodriguez, who has struck out 7 and walked 4 in 10 2/3 innings. Fernando Rodriguez pitched well his last time out. He was a 4-0 loser Saturday in Peoria, went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs on 8 hits, struck out 5, and walked 5. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members take the field, and they're spread out at every position. The Kernels are about to join them from their first base dugout. And Anderson and Brown Eye Care, the official eyewear provider of the Kernels, sponsors the announcement of our umpires. Behind the plate is Mark Evans, and on the diamond, David Warren. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, they're now a full-service eyewear provider. In addition to providing contact lenses, you can now select from a wide array of glasses at Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Visit them soon at their new location, just west of I-380, Boyson Road exit next to Intent City in Hiawatha. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members are awaiting the Kernels, who are in their white home uniforms with blue hats and red bills. The Beloit Snappers, the visitors, are in gray road uniforms with green hats and dark blue bills. This will be the third go-round for both starters, Kyle Waldrop of Beloit and Fernando Rodriguez of the Kernels, their third start against the respective ball clubs this evening, and neither has pitched well in their first 2 starts against the opposition. We have a special guest that we'll be welcoming a little bit later this evening from Intermec. John Wagner from Intermec is also going to sing the national anthem this evening. He's standing down next to our on-field hostess, Carla Davis. And we're also going to be welcoming a visitor from the country of France. Lucy will be here a little bit later this evening, along with Jack Harden. Jack is the general manager at Intolerance right off First Avenue in Cedar Rapids. Jack has been a long time loyal and generous supporter of the Kernels with ticket packages, and he has an annual group picnic here. He's one of the first to sign up every fall. Jack Harden will be joining us along with his daughter Annie and their special guest from France, Lucy. A light breeze is blowing in from right center field. It's delightfully cool here tonight. All those dire predictions of sweltering incapacitating heat have not come true. It's a wonderful evening for baseball as the Cost Cutters Dream Team members now are joined by the Kernels at their spots on the diamond. We'll hear a word from Wendy's in just a moment, and then the public address announcer Dale Brote will introduce our national anthem singer John Wagner from Intermec. John will be joining us in the 4th inning this evening. There is no color guard this evening, so after this announcement from Wendy's, let's pick up Dale Brote introducing John Wagner to sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Just being performed this evening by John Wagner of Intermec. Oh, sing and you'll see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare above the singing air gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A rousing ovation for John Wagner of Intermec. He'll be our guest in the fourth inning this evening. Jake Lentz is our in-studio engineer, and I'm John Rogers. Bob Brooks is on a 2-day hiatus to cover the Shrine All-Star football game in Ames. We'll welcome Bob back to the booth Sunday afternoon. The Kernels are out to even this series at a game apiece with Beloit. We'll have tonight's action for you in just 1 minute here in the zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
What a night for baseball as the Kernels, trying to get back towards the 500 mark, have suffered through a discouraging spell, a rut, in which we've lost 10 of 11 games. Our record has slipped to 12-15, but there is plenty of time left to right the ship. The Kernels are only 5 games back in the loss column to first place the swing of the Quad Cities. With that caveat, though, the ball club has to start playing better baseball. You may have read in the Gazette this morning, Jeff Johnson, the fine Gazette sports writer who covers the Kernels, did note that the Kernels, and we talked about it on the broadcast during the Colonel Curtin call last night, the Kernels were out on the field after the game in uniform and were put through a rigorous hour-plus workout by the coaching staff in an effort to get the guys back to the not only the winning ways, winning the ball games, but also the right mindset to just slough off that defeatist attitude that kind of infects any ball club when you're struggling like we have been recently. The Beloit snapper leadoff batter is Terrence Patterson. Patterson didn't play in last night's series opener. Terrence is hitting .256, 4 home runs, 33 RBIs. And right-hander Fernando Rodriguez, making his team-high 20th start of the year, rocks and delivers. The first pitch is chopped to third. The speedster legging it out, but he's thrown out by Sean Rodriguez. Terrence Patterson runs very well. He bounced the first pitch to third, and Sean Rodriguez took 2 steps in and then sent it across the diamond for the first out of the game. You can't get much more efficient than that, can you? 1 pitch, 1 out as Terrence Patterson is retired. Now here's the guy I like as the league MVP. I've raved about him. He's only 5'6", 5'7". They list him at 5'8". Deacon Burns. Deacon is hitting .288, 6 home runs, 50 RBIs. He leads the league in doubles and in triples. And a fastball just outside, ball 1 to Deacon Burns. Burns was 3 for 4 last night, scored in the Beloit 2-run third inning. Left-handed batter, and a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. Yet another hit for Deacon Burns. Deacon adds to his .417 average against Kernel pitching. On a 1-0 count, he grounded it hard up the middle. Fernando Rodriguez kind of dodged away from it. You can't blame him. It was hit very hard up the middle. And Fernando could not deflect or slow down that hard-hit ground ball for a 1-out single. Deacon Burns, yes sirree, he's my choice for the league MVP, and he's dwarfed at first base by big Chris Walston. David Winfrey, the number 3 hitter in the Beloit order, goes up swinging and mashes it foul to the base of the backstop. Tough time for the batters right now. They're standing in the shadows being cast by the grandstand roof. And Fernando Rodriguez, the Colonel hurler, is standing in bright sun. Is Deacon Burns running on this 0-1 pitch to Winfrey? No. A fastball inside corner, strike 2 to David Winfrey. He's only 19 years old, and he's 6'3", 225, Minnesota's 13th round pick out of First Colonial High School in Virginia in 2003. Winfrey Bats from a low crouch and swings at a changeup and didn't get it. Fernando Rodriguez came right after David Winfrey on an 0-2 delivery. It was a let-up, and Winfrey swung and missed, strike 3. 1 on, 2 out for Jeremy Pickrell, the cleanup batter. Pickrell in last night's ball game drove in the game's first run with a sacrifice fly. That came in Beloit's 2-run third inning. Jeremy was 1 for 3. Pickrell's hitting .285, 8 home runs, 39 runs driven in. Left-handed batter, and Fernando misses away for ball 1. The outfield, Toussaint in left, LeBlanc in center, and Jordan Renz in right. They're playing straight away for Jeremy Pickrell. Deacon Burns has a modest lead at first base. And the next pitch is a fastball low for ball 2. Kevin Bowles, one of the youngest managers, if not the youngest in professional baseball, just 30 years old, is flashing the signs from the snapper third base coaching box on this warm Friday evening. Bowles, believe it or not, is wearing a vinyl pullover jacket or a nylon jacket. And Pickrell loops the next pitch foul over the backstop. It's 2-1. Sitting down below is the general manager of the Minnesota Twins. That's right, Terry Ryan himself is sitting 7 rows. Check that. 6 rows right behind home plate. You'd never know it by the way he carries himself. He's like Bill Stoneman, very low-key and inconspicuous. A change-up and a check swing by Pickrell, and the pitch ricochets off the bat of Jeremy for strike 2. He kicks at the dirt. Pickrell was upset that he checked his swing on that 2-1 pitch to even the count. Bright, bright sunshine on the right side of the Kernel infield, and then is a big challenge as well for Jordan Renz in right field. A throw to first, and they've got Deacon Burns hung up between first and second. Walston runs him back to second, and now Casilla throws to Michael Collins, who tags the little jitterbug out. Deacon Burns is picked off first, the first mistake I've seen him make in this, the 10th meeting between our two ball clubs. It was quite a pickle, too. It went Rodriguez, the pitcher, to Chris Walston, to Alexi Casilla. So 1-3-6-2. Michael Collins, how about that for hustle? Collins, the catcher, wound up getting involved in that rundown, and he's the man that tagged Deacon Burns out closer to first base than second base. So the pickoff goes 1-3-6-2. Deacon Burns, caught flat-footed, is picked off first to end the Beloit first inning. No runs for the Snappers, 1 hit. There were no Kernel errors and nobody left by the visitors. And after 1/2 inning, Beloit nothing, the Kernels coming to bat. You're enjoying Kernel baseball in the zone.
There's a reason Dick Ramsey is the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skolman Realty. It's because Dick Ramsey works harder for you than anyone to make selling your home easy for you. Take Dick's one-of-a-kind home trade program. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes and Dick will buy yours. Dick Ramsey provides 2 other unparalleled services: a free 1-hour telephone loan approval and a free 1-hour telephone appraisal on your property. Dick Ramsey of Skolman Realty, the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company.
Ever wonder who coined the phrase, "We eliminate the middleman"? Well, one thing's pretty certain. It wasn't the middleman. And how did they eliminate him? Something fishy there. But I digress. Geico pioneered direct-to-consumer car insurance over 65 years ago, and they've been saving smart drivers money ever since. Give them a call, and you might ask them, what did they do with the middleman?
Geico's customer satisfaction stands at 97%. How would you rate your car insurance company? Geico. 1-800-947-AUTO. 15 minutes could save you 15%.
You know, sleep can really impact how we look. I've noticed when I don't get enough sleep, not only does my skin look duller, but I just look older. So when I have pain and trouble sleeping, I don't just put up with it. I take something. Tylenol PM. It doesn't make me groggy, and it's not habit forming. I just look and feel better when I get enough sleep. For me, it's not just about hitting the gym and stocking up at the makeup counter. It's about making sure I relieve my pain and I can sleep. Tylenol PM. Use only as directed.
Alexi Casilla, who's been nothing short of sensational this season for the Kernels, is first up against 20-year-old tall right-hander Kyle Waldrop. Alexi, a .298 average, 2 homers, 11 runs driven in. He drove in the first Kernel run of last night's game. It was an RBI in the third inning, and ball one dips low to Alexi. Playing right next to the bag at third, and now creeping in a step or two is David Winfrey for Beloit. And a fastball is in at the knees, strike one to Casilla. Alexi's now fourth in the league with 28 stolen bases. A ground ball, base hit into right field. Alexi Casilla continues his consistent hitting. It seems like Julia Jansen, at every time Alexi's in the lineup, he's on base at least 2, if not 3 times.
It's amazing he's not hitting over 300.
He will be soon, the way he's swinging the bat. Alexi grounded it to the right of Chris Brown, the first baseman, into right. And let's see if the Kernels play bunt and run or hit and run with Sean Rodriguez at the plate. Sean is batting .268, 5 homers, 21 RBIs, but he has not hit well this season in 9 games against Beloit. He's 4 for 27. And a slider is high, ball one. Sean went around. And, well, great news from Todd Brummelkamp, Julia, our Director of Media Relations. It wasn't just a hunch we had about how hot Alexi's been.
That's right. Alexi is on a 10-game hitting streak.
Wow. He's running. A pitch, a strike. The throw to second in time. Alexi Casilla was gunned out by Corey Feiner, and it went 2-6 with Trevor Plouffe taking the peg. That was a perfect throw by Feiner as Sean Rodriguez took a strike. So Alexi, who has extended his hitting streak to 10, is thrown out for just the 8th time in 36 stolen base attempts. Does that ever take the wind out of the Kernel sails here in the first inning? Now Rodriguez holds up on a change-up low and away from the right-hander. Kyle Waldrop, he last pitched Saturday in Beloit against the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays, a no decision. He went 3 1/3 innings. Rodriguez punches the 2-1 pitch foul over the backstop. In that 3 1/3 innings, Kyle surrendered 4 runs, only 1 earned, though, on 6 hits. He struck out 2 and he walked 1. We'll set the snappers for you in the field in just a moment. First, though, the right-handed hitting Sean Rodriguez on the 2-2 delivery. Takes it inside, ball 3. It was a fastball. Deacon Burns is in left. The Beloit center fielder is Terrence Patterson, and Jeremy Pickrell's in right. They play Sean slightly to hit the other way. Payoff pitch is grounded to the shortstop. Plouffe glides effortlessly to his left, and the peg from behind second base is in time to get Sean Rodriguez. Sean Rodriguez on a 3-2 pitch, wrapped it up the middle, and boy, that Trevor Plouffe, as Bob Brooks has said countless number of times, has really played good shortstop for the Snappers. Base is empty, 2 away for Michael Collins. Collins was 2 for 4 last night. He's hitting .333, 6 home runs, 43 runs driven in. Straightaway stance for the Australian right-handed batter, and a curve is in for a strike call. Michael stands well up in the batter's box. He's hitting .333. And a little tap foul behind home plate, and Waldrop's ahead of Michael 0-2. Julia, you were down on the field moments ago to orchestrate the Cost Cutters Dream teams, and from up here, I think it's got to be murder on the hitter because he's standing in the shadows being cast by the grandstand roof, whereas both hurlers, Waldrop and our Fernando Rodriguez, are in bright sunshine. Does it look pretty tough on the field with that shadow?
Yeah, I think it's harder for the batter. I mean, it's a really bright sun down there, too. There's no clouds. It's just coming right in.
Yes, it's what they call a high sky, exactly a cloudless sky. Michael Collins is rung up on a pitch on the inside corner. Michael caught looking, and the Kernels started the first inning with promise, had Casilla at first as he extends his hitting streak to 10, but Alexi was caught trying to steal second. No runs, 1 hit. There were no Beloit errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty. Broadcast assistant Julia Jansen will take us through the second and third innings this evening. After 1, it's the Kernels and Beloit, no score, and you're enjoying Kernel baseball in the zone.
Everyone wants their print and copy needs to be done right and to be done on time. Copyworks will meet those expectations. Copyworks will see to it that your work is of the highest quality. They'll do that by consulting with you at your place of work. Copyworks stands behind their work for you. It will be done right and it will be done on time. You can count on Copyworks to come through for you. When it's important to you, Copyworks lets your work shine through.
Copyworks, Copyworks.
This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. Give someone special to you the gift that will be remembered for years to come. Name a star after them. The Star Registry will name a star after anyone on your gift list for $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com. It's the perfect gift for birthdays, weddings, and just about any occasion. Give the ultimate gift. Call the Star Registry at 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com. We proudly support the Starlight Starbright Children's Foundation.
Do you have a car with at least 75,000 miles and want to win a trip to Vegas? If so, post a picture of your wheels with your story on why you love your car at Castro.com/US. One entry will be selected. Mail a 3x5 postcard with your name, address, age, and daytime telephone number to the Castro Sin City Giveaway. P.O. Box 1999, Culver City, California 90232. Brought to you by Castro GTX High Mileage Motor Oil. Help older cars feel young again. For official rules, call 800-888-6402. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
Jeremy Pickrell, who will lead it off for the Snappers here in the top of the second. He was up to bat at the bottom of the first when Deacon Burns was caught in a pickle, so he is at bat again. We'll start over again. First pitch from Fernando Rodriguez is right in there for strike one. Pickrell is playing right field tonight. He's hitting .285. He has 8 home runs, 39 RBIs, 13 doubles, and 5 triples. He has bright white batting gloves and takes a look at ball one outside. Crowd is still streaming in here. Miller Mezzanine is packed. Let's see who's up there tonight. And there's a tapper that goes right to Nate Sutton and the throw over to first. Chris Walston for the first out. 4-3 play to retire Jeremy Pickrell. That'll bring Chris Brown, the first baseman tonight, to the plate for the Snappers. One out now in the top of the second inning. No runs yet for either team. And Chris Brown is a right-handed batter with a really deep squat in his stance and watches ball one low, a fastball go by. 86 miles per hour. The 1-0 pitch right there for strike one.
Yes, Julie, you mentioned how jam-packed the Miller Mezzanine is above the Kernel first base dugout, over 340 from the sheet metal contractors of Iowa.
Chris Brown takes a big swing and a miss for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here at the top of the second. There's a group from MCI out in the plaza section. They have lime green shirts on. And now Chris Brown swings and misses on strike 3, and the ball gets away from Michael Collins, so he throws down to first. So 2 up, 2 down here. The second strikeout already tonight for Fernando Rodriguez. And Trevor Plouffe. I have his name right tonight.
He's quite a shortstop, Julia. And, yeah, we're going to have a visitor from France a little bit later this evening named Lucy, and we'll ask her, we'll show her Plouffe's name, and I bet she'll agree with you that if he was playing in Paris, it would be pronounced Plouffe.
Well, Bob Brooks isn't here to argue his point, so maybe I will be right tonight. First pitch to Trevor Plouffe is ball one. Now with a 1-1 count, Rodriguez delivers for strike 2. 89-mile-per-hour fastball.
Boy, Fernando's working quickly, less than 7 seconds between deliveries.
He's winding up, and the pitch is just a little low and outside for ball 2. Plouffe is hitting .231. He has 8 home runs and 40 RBIs. He uses a really light-looking bat. Looks like all ash. And Rodriguez delivers for ball 3 low. Full count now to Trevor Plouffe. 2 outs here at the top of the second. Neither team has scored. And the outfield placed him straight away Rodriguez sets and delivers. And there's a bouncer right back to Fernando Rodriguez. He catches it, makes an easy throw to Chris Lawson at first for a 1-3 play to retire Snappers in the top of the second here. 3 up and 3 down, no runs, no hits, and no errors. There was nobody left on base. The Kernels will be back with the bottom of the second inning. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here in the zone.
I think it's time to move on. I mean, you're just so unreliable and boring. Face it, you're a fair weather friend, and I found someone else, someone I can always count on. I'm really in love this time, so goodbye, Dish.
Breaking up is easy to do when you switch to Mediacom. Call today for a great deal. Family cable with digital 2-star, including Showtime On Demand and Stars On Demand for just $39.95 a month for 12 months. Plus, get Mediacom online high-speed internet for just $39.95 a month for 12 months. You'll love everything you get from Mediacom, especially Showtime, with new hit movies every month. And with Showtime On Demand, you can choose from over 100 movies anytime for free. Call 866-566-CABLE to subscribe. Call right now and you can get great Xbox extras, including a free game, free Xbox starter kit, and a 12-month subscription to Xbox Live Service. 866-566-CABLE. Call today. Must subscribe to both services. Offer for new residential subscribers only. All products may not be available.
In the world of golf, the word titanium is becoming key to a great game of golf. Just think about it. Titanium drivers, even titanium golf balls. Now get the titanium that will really help your game. Maui Jim Titanium Sport Sunglasses, featuring their patented Polarized Plus technology, which eliminates glare so completely, you'll read putts and see your target line a whole lot better. Maui Jim Titanium Sport Sunglasses.
For both single vision and progressive prescription Maui Jim glasses, visit Arcade Opticians, 1953 First Avenue.
We move to the bottom of the second inning here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. No score yet against the Snappers. Still 0-0. Drew Toussaint will lead off the inning for the Kernels, playing left field tonight. Drew, the right-handed batter, is hitting .276 with 14 home runs, 45 RBIs, 19 doubles, and 2 triples. On the mound for the Snappers is Kyle Waldrop. He throws in the first pitch for ball 1, low and outside. He has a pretty quick turnaround as well as he fires the next pitch in, and Toussaint gets a piece of that one and pops it off to the net.
Julia, our expected guest, Jack Harden, his daughter Annie, and their guest from France, Lucy. Lucy's sitting right next to you and I in between us, and we'll welcome her in just a moment.
The 1-1 pitch to Drew Toussaint is driven and bounces right in front of the second baseman, Liz Hughes, who flips to first for the first out. Again, a 4-3 play.
It's ironic that we have Lucy with us because Toussaint and LeBlanc both played at Southern University in Louisiana, Baton Rouge, and they're both Creole names. But Creole, there's some French, right, Julia?
I think so.
You took Spanish and French, right?
No, I just took Spanish.
Okay, well, LeBlanc and Toussaint have some French in them.
And now Josh LeBlanc gets a hold of a ball and dribbles it right to Trevor Plouffe at shortstop. And I'm not sure what happened there. He picked it up and didn't make the throw, so Josh LeBlanc is safe at first with a single.
Well, they give Josh a hit of all things, Julia, and my only guess is he got his spike caught in a rut on the dirt. That was the easiest of chances. As you called it, a slow roller to Plouffe, who's made all the plays in the first 9 games between these teams this season, and he just kind of pulled up and didn't throw it. I don't know if his spike got caught in the dirt or if the ball got caught in his mitt. Very generous scoring by our official scorer, not to charge Plouffe with an error. So that must mean something happened with his foot in the dirt.
He even charged the ball, got up, and then just dropped his shoulders and didn't make the throw to first. So now Josh LeBlanc is at first safely. There's 1 out here at the bottom of the second, and Warner Madrigal, the designated hitter tonight, has a 1-1 count. Just look at strike 1. Warner's batting right-handed tonight. He's hitting .229, 11 home runs, 34 RBIs. And the runner at first, Josh LeBlanc, goes. There's a little tapper. The umpire called it a fair ball. I thought it had rolled foul, and so did Warner Madrigal, because he stopped and looked back at the catcher Corey Feiner, and then the umpire ruled it fair, and Josh LeBlanc was already on second base, and Warner Madrigal just started jogging to first, so they threw down to first for a 2-3 out for Warner Madrigal.
Well, you couldn't have described it better, Julia. That's exactly... I'm not sure. I know Warner thought it was foul, but you don't umpire yourself. You make the umpire make the call. Anytime you put that ball near in play, you better be running hard to first, and Warner may have his tail between his legs, and I'm not sure if he'll be in this game very much longer. Bobby Magallanes will not put up with that kind of mistake. You've got to run hard, even if you think it's foul.
That brings Jordan Renz to the plate with Josh LeBlanc on second. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Almost a deuces wild there. The 1-0 pitch to Jordan Renz is swung on for strike 1. Jordan's in right field tonight for the Kernels. As we mentioned before, the batter's box is completely in the shadows, and then everywhere else in the outfield is still in the sunshine. There's a ball high to Jordan. It's a fastball, 89-mile-per-hour pitch.
Our guest Lucy brought her camera because I would guess this may be the first professional baseball game she's taken in as a 16-year-old visitor from France. And I bet she knows everything you're talking about, Julia.
I might as well be speaking a foreign language, right?
Oui, oui, mademoiselle.
So, ball 3 to Jordan Renz. He has 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs here, bottom of the second. No score yet. Josh LeBlanc is on second after a single and an advance over to second base from Warner Madrigal's little blooper on the home third base line.
Yeah, that little tap or dribbler, Julia, only went 4 feet to the left of home plate, and that's why Warner was caught in his tracks. He thought it was foul, but Corey Feiner, as you described it, popped out of his catcher squad, and he got it before it went foul. And Warner never, well, as you said, he took maybe 3 half-hearted steps towards first, and he was thrown out by 85 feet.
Now the payoff pitch coming to Jordan Renz with a full count. Waldrop fires, and that's ball 4. Jordan Renz is on board with the first walk of the game.
Boy, that pitch didn't miss by much either, Julia. It was over but low. Good batting eye by Renz. And, you know, it's hard to believe that Chris Walston has 7 home runs, 18 RBIs, but no doubles or triples. We've got to get him in that extra base hit column besides just home runs.
It would be a good time for a double or a triple with runners at first and second, too. So the big Chris Walston stands in at the plate. First pitch by Kyle Waldrop is swung on for strike 1. Nate Sutton is on deck in the batter's circle, swinging the bat over his head. Waldrop winds up and fires, and Chris Walston takes a big swing and a miss for strike 2. 0-2 count to Chris Walston. 2 outs here, bottom of the second. Kernels have runners at first and second. A lot of Little League teams here tonight. I've seen 2 different Little League teams already. And then the third pitch by Kyle Waldrop is looked at for strike 3 by Chris Walston, so he's struck out looking. That's the second strikeout the Kernels have watched go by them tonight. The other one was by Michael Collins in the first. So the Kernels failed to score on a no run. They had 1 hit and 1 walk, no errors. They left 2 men on base. They've stranded 2 in the game. We'll be back with the top of the third. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here in the zone.
Ouch! One of the fears of waste handlers, getting stuck by a needle without any warning. It's not only painful, what's even worse, they can be exposed to a life-threatening illness. Here's how to safely dispose of used needles and syringes. Put them in a sealed container like plastic bottles. Better yet, in official Sharps containers. Then they're ready to be put in your trash for curbside collection. By following these simple steps, you're reducing a potential hazard to waste handlers. Your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling appreciate it.
1.99%. That's the kind of low interest rate you might hear about on a new car. But when was the last time you heard about a 1.99% interest rate on a mortgage? Now, for a limited time, that's just what you can get from Quicken Loans, with an introductory rate of just 1.99% on the exclusive Smart Choice interest-only loan. Call Quicken Loans at 800-919-1722 now to see if Smart Choice is the right choice for you. If it is, your house payment could be lower than your car payment. With a $200,000 loan, your payment would be just $330. Whether you're purchasing or refinancing, call 800-919-1722 for the 1.99% Smart Choice loan, exclusively from Quicken Loans. Call now, 800-919-1722. 30-year mortgage interest-only payment for the first 10 years. Initial interest payment and rate of 1.99%. APR 4.114%. Fixed for first 6 months. Adjusts every 6 months. After 6 months, payment is $687.50. Quicken Loans is an equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. Call for details.
We move to the top of the third here. No score still. Kernels and Snappers are tied at nothing. And the first pitch to Johnny Woodard, the left-handed batter, is ball one outside. 88-mile-per-hour fastball. And Rodriguez has his fast lineup tonight. And here we go with the next pitch already in there for ball two. The lights are turning on. And the 2-0 pitch, ball low for ball three. 3-0 count to Johnny Woodard, who's hitting 200, 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. His 21st game with the Snappers. Fourth pitch is ball four. 4 pitches right in a row will put Johnny Woodard on at first, the designated hitter tonight. And Luke Hughes, who's playing second base for the Snappers, will come to the plate. The right-handed batter is hitting .267, 6 home runs, 39 RBIs, 14 doubles, and 2 triples. We'll see if Woodard goes at first. He has no stolen bases and no attempts even either. Luke Hughes stands in and looks at the first pitch from Fernando Rodriguez, strike one. Corey Feiner, the catcher, is on deck. No outs here at the top of the third. Luke Hughes is at bat. He swings and sends the ball way foul over the mezzanine terrace. That'll be out of the park, but foul for strike two.
Our visitor, Lucy's making the most of her time in the broadcast booth. She's welcome with Jack Harden and her daughter, Annie, to stay as long as they like tonight.
Now Luke Hughes pops another one up foul on the first base side. It also leaves the stadium, hopefully not finding a car out there in the parking lot. Lucy told me during the break that she has never seen a baseball game before and doesn't even know what a strike is. So.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I've got news for Lucy. I don't know the first thing about Lance Armstrong and the Tour de France. So I know that he's a 7-time champion and that he's drug tested and that he passes all the tests and that he's a proud American and he gets kissed by pretty French women after every stage.
There was a really nice article on Lance Armstrong in the Sports Illustrated issue that just came out. Rick Riley had a good article.
Great.
He rode along in the car that follows the Discovery team that Lance Armstrong rides out. It was really funny. Good article.
Well, Rick Riley's one of the best writers, Julie. I, like you, take Sports Illustrated, and I'll look forward to reading that inside look at how Armstrong does it.
There's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luke Hughes. Rodriguez gets ready to deliver and throw back to first. And Johnny Woodard is back safely.
Well, I'm sure soccer's big in France, Julia. Do you think we could fit a soccer field somewhere if we carved out the lines right on the diamond below?
I think so.
I do too.
They fit football stadiums and baseball parks too. So, and now Luke Hughes sends one way up in the sky and comes down, and Sean Rodriguez is there to make the catch. So they pop out to the third baseman.
Go ahead, Julia.
Just going to say 1 out here in the top of the third.
It's funny, we've been watching Fernando Rodriguez Jr., the 21-year-old from El Paso, Texas. This is his 20th start, and when he's working from the stretch now, but when he goes into his windup again, I'll share with our listeners something new that I've learned about him, and this is his 20th start.
And Corey Feiner, the catcher for the Snappers, looks at a ball one that's a little high, 86-mile-per-hour fastball. Feiner's hitting 171, no home runs, and 7 RBIs. He gets a piece of one, it bounces on the base and comes up and nails him in the back. He'll take that for strike one. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the third. The Snappers have a runner at first after a walk, a leadoff walk by Fernando Rodriguez Jr., the Kernels pitcher tonight. Throw back to first, and Woodard is back safely.
Yeah, Julia, who are those folks in the lime green shirts in the plaza section?
That is the MCI group. They're hard to miss here tonight with those bright shirts on. There's a pitch out. The runner did not go, so that brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike.
The Blues Brothers here tomorrow. Julia, you've seen all of our entertainment acts from Berserk to the Superstars to Skydog USA. Tomorrow you'll get to see the Blues Brothers.
Being from the Chicagoland area, I probably have seen them before, but they are a class act.
They are, and we're coupling them, their fun and zany antics, with Commercial Federal Bank fireworks following the ball game tomorrow evening.
There's ball 3 in to Corey Feiner. And then a 3-1 pitch is delivered and swung on for strike 2, 87-mile-per-hour fastball. So a full count now to Corey Feiner. 1 out here at the top of the third. The Snappers have a runner at first. The sun is behind a cloud right now, so there's shade everywhere in the field. Feiner gets a piece of one and taps it foul. Michael Collins thought there might be a similar play to the one we had earlier tonight, but the umpire ruled it a foul ball, so we'll do it again.
Boy, Corey Feiner fought off a very good 3-2 pitch in on his hands. He was protecting Johnny Woodard, who was running on that full count pitch, and as you said, Julia, it was just about 6 feet up the first base line, foul by less than a foot.
Now the payoff pitch for Fernando Rodriguez. He's throwing back to first to Chris Walston to send Johnny Woodard back up standing safely. Feiner uses a black bat with bright white batting gloves. And now the runner goes. And he will have to go back because Feiner sent one foul down the third baseline. It landed down there in the Randy Kiel-Humpins Pavilion,
which is loaded tonight with folks from Great America Leasing. We can see their beautiful building beyond the right field wall and above the tree line. It's that sparkling glass that Mayor Lee Clancy helped bring Great America Leasing here about 6 or 7 years ago.
There's a big group out there tonight. They have all of the decks, 439 tickets. And now Corey Feiner gets a hold of one and lifts it deep into right field, and Jordan Renz runs over to his left and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here at the top of the third. The Snappers have a runner at first still. He held there after the catch by Jordan, and that will bring number 2, Terrence Patterson, up to the plate for the Snappers. Right-handed batter is hitting .256. He's the leadoff batter for the Snappers.
Julie and I were discussing your travels in Europe earlier this afternoon. The topic just came up on a few errands we were running.
There's strike 1, Terrence Patterson.
And our guest Lucy from France would get a kick out of knowing, Julia, that when you went into school in Switzerland, an unusual custom is you went into the building.
That's right. Before they all went in there, they all went down to the basement and took off their shoes. And then they have school slippers that they wore during school hours, and then you would go upstairs, and if you didn't take your shoes off, then you would be in a lot of trouble. That was in Austria.
Oh, in Austria?
Yes.
A land of cleanliness, I suppose.
And I didn't bring any slippers with me. I was in a jam. And now Terrence Patterson gets a hold of one and dumps that right in front of Drew Toussaint in left field. So he has a single tonight. his first hit of the game. He had a ground out in the first inning. So now the Snappers have runners at first and second with 2 outs here at the top of the third. The sun just peeks back out from behind some clouds. And the shadows are growing across the field.
Well, here's just the guy the Kernels don't want to face, Deacon Burns. He's batting .417 versus the Kernels this year. 1 for 1 tonight, and he has really feasted on Kernel pitching this season, little Deacon Burns.
And there's a throwback to second, and Johnny Woodard is still safely there. Kernels think of him as a big threat on the bases, but he hasn't had any stolen bases or even attempts to steal yet. And this is his 21st game with the Snappers. Now the first pitch, Deacon Burns, strike one.
Well, every country in Europe has its culture and customs, and I wouldn't have been prepared to have to bring slippers to school in Austria. I wouldn't have crossed my mind.
It was interesting. It was really comfortable, though. You didn't have to worry about wearing uncomfortable shoes during the day.
Sure. Just got to make sure to bring plenty of that Dr. Scholl's.
I wouldn't want to stay in the basement the whole day. Probably didn't smell very good down there.
But a very relaxed approach to learning.
So Deacon Burns fouls one down the first baseline, so he has a 0-2 count.
He's done it again.
And now he hits the Kernels, and they will have at least 1, maybe 2 runs. Looks like 2 runs will score. Deacon Burns is on his way to third. He slides in safely. That ball went deep into left center field, and it was on the warning track, kind of tucked under the wall. Drew Toussaint and Josh LeBlanc were over there to dig it out. And as you called it, John, Deacon Burns, he's a big threat to the Kernels. He just had his stand-up triple.
Burns this again. It was on an 0-2 pitch, and I don't know what we've seen these guys now. This is our 10th game against them this season, and Deacon Burns is hitting nearly 500 against us. I said last night before the game even started, I would vote him the league's most valuable player at 5 feet, 6 inches tall.
So Johnny Woodard and Terrence Patterson scored on that triple by Deacon Burns. And now David Winfrey pops up the first pitch just in the grass behind first base. And I didn't see who came over to make the catch on that one. Was it Nate Sutton?
Yes, Julia, it sure was Nate Sutton.
All right, so Nate Sutton had play there for the third out. But not before the Snappers did some damage here at the top of the third, which has been a theme lately. They did 2 runs, so they have a 2-0 lead over the Kernels. They scored, again, the 2 runs this inning on 2 hits. There was a walk, and there were no errors by the Kernels. The Snappers left 1 man aboard. That's their first of the evening. We'll be back with the bottom of the third. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was a news anchor for Channel 2. You may also have seen me driving around Cedar Rapids in my Honda Accord. Well, I retired from broadcasting, but I haven't given up my Honda. For years, I've told friends they should consider owning a Honda, specifically from Randy Keel Honda. Randy is a local dealer with 13 years of experience in matching drivers to the right vehicle. He has a fine selection of new Hondas, as well as quality pre-owned vehicles. And more than just a reliable service department, Randy Keel Honda offers Honfidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle sold. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. And you can do more homework by logging on to Randy's website at www.randykeel.com. I'm a satisfied Honda owner, and I'm sure you will be too. See Randy Keel Honda today on Centerpoint Road Northeast.
ESPN Classic.
Get the network that brings you the greatest sports in history.
From Namath to Koufax.
From McEnroe to Jordan.
The greatest heroes.
In their greatest games.
Plus, the Emmy and Peabody Award-winning Sports Century.
Revealing profiles inside the lives of legends.
And real classics.
Movies for sports fans every Sunday night.
No wonder the LA Times calls ESPN Classic the best channel on television.
To get ESPN Classic, call your local cable or satellite provider now.
Nate Sutton will lead off the bottom of the third for the Kernels. He's actually batting last in the order for the Kernels tonight, but he's playing second base. He's hitting .234, 1 home run, 13 RBIs, 7 doubles, and 2 triples. And the first pitch from Kyle Waldrop was strike 1, and the 0-1 pitch we looked at for ball 1. So a 1-1 count to Nate Sutton. No outs here in the bottom of the third. The Snappers have a 2-0 lead over the Kernels after scoring 2 in the third inning. Now Nate Sutton sends one foul down the third base line.
Julia, I'd like to intercede for just a moment and make sure our upcoming guest in the fourth inning, John Wagner from Intermec, has a chance to introduce himself to Jack Harden of Intolerance and his daughter, Annie Harden. I'll leave that to you guys.
Now the 1-2 pitch to Nate Sutton is a ball outside, a little low too. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kyle Waldrop. Our shadows now pretty much in the entire infield. And now Nate Sutton bounces one right to Luke Hughes, the second baseman, who flips to first for a 4-3 play. And that will bring Alexi Casilla top of the order up to bat for the Kernels.
John Wagner will be joining us in the fourth inning, and Julia's going to break out a surprise for, in addition to the wonderful baseball that the Kernels combined with Jack Harden to send Lucy home with. I think she leaves tomorrow, but Julia, you'll be breaking out a surprise eating-wise for our guests in the fourth inning. So I don't want Jack or Annie to move a step. They are welcome the entire evening. John Wagner from Intermec will slide into your slot, Julia, in the fourth inning.
Another American tree here. I'm sure she's had plenty of it already.
Well, probably has.
Alexi Casilla bunts the ball, and it kind of is a messy-looking bunt that goes right in between the pitcher and the catcher, and the catcher, Corey Feiner, runs in and grabs the ball, throws down to first before Alexi can make it there in time.
And Alexi has a valid argument. The ball hit his bat twice. It should have been a foul ball. Alexi is pleading his case to the base umpire, David Warren. You described it beautifully, Julia. It was a messy-looking bunt, and the reason it was, the pitch hit his bat twice. Did you agree with that?
I did not see that.
It did hit his bat twice. It should have been ruled a foul ball. Now Sean Rodriguez tries to get time from the umpire, and that's ball 1. Rodriguez chirping at Mark Evans, who didn't grant him time.
He was not even in the batter's box when that pitch was delivered. Now the 1-0 count to Sean Rodriguez. Gets the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, that pitch that Alexi tried to bunt hit his bat twice and should have been a foul.
Now the 1-1 pitch is high and inside for ball 2 to Sean Rodriguez. Rodriguez grounded out in the first. He was 0 for 3 last night. Walked and scored in the Kernels' 3-run 6th inning. And now Sean Rodriguez gets a hold of one and hoists it into mid-center field, and Luke Hughes went back to make the play. So 3 up and 3 down for the Kernels.
Actually, Julia, that was another good description, but it was Terrence Patterson who came in and called off Luke Hughes, and the center fielder made that catch.
All right, so the pop out to 8 center fielder.
You got it.
So 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, and no errors. The Kernels didn't score any. They've stranded 2 in the game. The Snappers lead the Kernels 2-0. We'll be back with the 4th inning with lots of great interviews for you to listen to. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here in the Zone.
I cannot be anyone but me. Baby, can't you see I know what's right for me? Don't tell me wrong for mine. I know just what I like. Yeah, call me crazy, I don't care. Come feel the joy of each generation. They've got their own understanding. I'm just shy, yeah.
Attention investors. USCoins.com, America's leading distributor of rare coins, has been appointed to liquidate an estate collection of 3,000 United States Morgan silver dollars. The coins are dated 1878 to 1904 and contain almost a full ounce of pure silver. Similar coins currently sell for over $25 elsewhere. USCoins.com is offering these historic coins for only $14.95 while supplies last. Coins will be chosen at random, and the price can only be guaranteed for this offer. Call 1-800-835-0008 or go to USCoins.com. Are you making too many trips to the bathroom? Super Prostate Formula reduces nighttime urination and improves sleep. We're so confident that you'll be thrilled with Super Prostate Formula that you can try it free. That's right, free. So call now for your free 30-day trial of Super Prostate Formula and reclaim control. Just pay shipping and handling. Call now, 1-800-414-2152. 1-800-414-2152. That's 1-800-414-2152.
Through 3 innings, the Kernels trail Beloit 2-0. An 0-2 pitch with 2 out and 2 on in the third inning was drilled into left center by left-handed hitting Deacon Burns to chase home 2 snapper runners. And Fernando Rodriguez is ready to go to work here in the top of the 4th inning. He'll face the cleanup batter of the snappers, Jeremy Pickrell, and our suspense is over now. We do have right with us here in the booth John Wagner of Intermec. And John, thank you so much for helping plan this annual event that really highlights the fun and the meaning of Intermec in this community, I think.
Thank you very much. Yes, we enjoy coming out every year. We've done this for quite a few years now, and being a local company, it's great to support the local baseball team.
Well, thank you. It means so much to us. Pickrell, the cleanup batter, bunts, but it's too hard. In fact, it skips by Kevin Bowles, the 30-year-old manager for the Snappers, and Kevin tosses it up into the kids on the grass slope seating berm. John Wagner, what is your position at Intermec? What do you do?
I'm a marketing product strategist. I help find new products for our company to use and help them design the new products.
That's pretty challenging, and I bet it keeps you on your toes.
Yes, I'm very, very busy, and I'm responsible for our receipt printer market, and I'm also responsible for some of our older handhelds because I've been with the company for about 22 years, so that's some experience.
Well, we're going to hear about both of those terms you just used as Pickrell fouls one off the facade of the grandstand, and ball 1 just missed outside from Fernando Rodriguez. Fernando is making his team-high 20th start of the year. He last pitched Saturday in Peoria. He was a 4-0 loser, but he pitched very well. A slow roller out to shortstop, and it's fumbled by Alexi Casilla. Alexi can't find the handle, and it's an error on the Kernel shortstop. Jeremy Pickrell reaches on a error, and isn't that always the case? It's the easiest chances that you tend to flub up a little bit, and it's the hard ones that you make the spectacular plays on. John Wagner from Intermec is here as Jeremy Pickrell reaches on the first error committed by either squad, and that brings in Chris Brown. Chris was a strikeout victim in the second inning. Right-handed batter, and he does bat from an extremely low squat, a throw to first, the runner back. One of the technology pieces you mentioned, John Wagner, to do with receipts, and we all, when we go to market or go to stores, virtually everywhere, the checkout person says, "Ma'am or sir, would you like to keep your receipt?" A curve is a strike called. Now, does that mean Intermec is involved directly with consumers like that in retail outlets?
Actually, Intermec is involved more with the people who would deliver products to those stores.
Oh, okay.
The beverages, the bakery.
The vendors.
Yes.
Okay. More than the consumer at the checkout line.
Yes.
A change-up and a tip foul at the feet of the batter, and it's 0-2 now to Chris Brown, who walks dejectedly out of the box. Chris is a .273 hitter, 8 home runs, 26 RBIs. And, John, I'm assuming Intermec does business not only all over the country, but I think you're an international in your scope.
Yes, we're all over the world, and we have offices in many, many countries, Europe, Mexico, in the Far East, in Australia, Canada, Brazil.
My goodness, and you have employees on the ground there.
Yes, yeah, we have the company. We're about 2,700 employees total, and we're about almost 400 here in Cedar Rapids.
That's a good-sized company. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and Chris Brown goes back to the Beloit dugout, literally talking to himself as he was fooled for the second time. He's down on strike swinging, 1 on, 1 out. 2-0 Snappers. We're in the top of the 4th inning, and it's Intermec night here. Of the 400 employees and their families, John, roughly speaking, what's your turnout tonight?
Well, I think we have about 350 Intermec employees, families, and friends here tonight.
That's fabulous.
Yes.
Now, did you work hand-in-hand with Jack Rader in your position in marketing and research, or did Jack work with someone else?
I was part of the team that worked with Jack.
Well, you worked with the best, didn't you?
Oh, he's a great man.
Yes.
I really enjoy working with him.
That's great. A strike on the inside corner to Plouffe. Lucy, we're going to turn to you for just a moment. This fella's name is spelled Plouffe, and Julia said if he played in France, we should call him Plouffe. Okay, Lucy from France is in accord with Julia Jansen. Trevor Plouffe hits one to third. Oh, a bad hop over the shoulder of Rodriguez, and it bounces into shallow left. A bad hop single. That could have been a double play to end the inning. Sean at third was all set to go down and snatch it, and it bounced over his left shoulder. A bad hop single off the bat of Trevor Plouffe, and it puts runners at first and second. Jeremy Pickrell, as that ball dribbled into shallow left, had to hold at second, and now we're in more trouble. First and second, one out. Let's try to get Johnny Woodard, who led off the third inning by walking and then scored. Let's see if we can get him to hit into a double play. John Wagner, what percentage of folks at Intermec, what is your gender breakdown? Because I happen to know a very, very fine woman by the name of Smith, and she travels all over the world on your behalf. Here's a swing and a miss, and it's not Chris Smith. I'll think of her first name in a moment. It's been ages since I've seen her.
Kim?
Kim! Yes.
I know Kim. I went to grade school with Kim.
Well, Kim is outstanding.
Yes, she is.
One of the most intelligent, hard-working people I've ever met. The 0-1 to the left-handed batter, Woodard. Low and in, a fastball. What is your gender breakdown?
I would say it's fairly even. It's fairly even. We enjoy, in my department, it's basically split right down the middle.
That's what I thought. The 1-1 to Johnny Woodard, the left-handed batter, is a changeup in the dirt smothered by the catcher, Michael Collins, to prevent a wild pitch. Now, you mentioned the handhelds. John, whenever we go into Walmart or Target or any of the even small retail outlets, the Handy Marts of the world, we see people doing some sort of stock inventory with a handheld device. Is that likely from Intermec?
Yes, it's likely. We make a lot of handhelds and different sizes for different markets.
And essentially, are they a way of keeping track of inventory without the bulkiness of a big computer?
Exactly. The driver can take and have a constant inventory of what's on his truck. The computer will tell him where to go during the day. It'll recommend what he should sell. And at the end of the day, it'll tell him what's left on his truck, and it helps him end his day. We were able to cut 2 hours off of people's end-of-day processes.
That is remarkable, and we congratulate you for that model of efficiency and time saving. Here's a high pop foul off to the left on a 3-1 pitch, and the count's full now to Johnny Woodard, and I have a hunch that Kevin Bowles, who is flashing a battery of signs from third, is going to turn his runners loose. This could be one of the big pitches of the game, with Beloit leading in the top of the fourth 2-0. They have 2 on, 1 out, and a likely hit and run here. The left-handed batter waits. Fernando comes set just below the letters and spins and looks the lead runner, Jeremy Pickrell, back to the bag at second. Well, now I can understand more fully how practical the world is at Intermec. You help the business world function, John.
Yes, one of our most important. Here, we'll wait for the pitch.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Fernando. Glad we did wait for that pitch, John, because Fernando reared back and played old country hardball with Johnny Woodard. The runners were not going, and a big second out recorded here in the fourth inning. 2 on, 2 out. And yes, John, on those handhelds, those are remarkable pieces of technology. Did Intermec actually help invent them, or are they more the producer of them?
We invented a lot of the technology that goes into them.
That's amazing. How old is that technology?
The company started about 1966.
A bouncer to second. Nate Sutton gloves it at his shoe tops and races to the bag at second to force Trevor Plouffe, and Fernando Rodriguez pitches out of trouble here in the top of the fourth inning. He gets Luke Hughes to force Trevor Plouffe on a grounder to Sutton at second base. 1966, John Wagner, your company is relatively young.
Yes, it is, and Cedar Rapids, the facility, was one of the more recent acquisitions.
Oh,
but we've shared all these inventions, all of the different facilities that have become Intermec. All have been groundbreakers. And in fact, one of our most important facilities is in Toulouse, France.
No.
Yes.
Lucy, Toulouse, France. Now, have you heard of that? Toulouse, France.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to have you talk that over while we take a break. John Wagner is with us from Intermec, and he's going to make sure our other guest from France, Lucy, who's the guest of Jack Harden and Annie Harden, they've made, isn't this funny, John, how you can make this kind of connection at a ballpark?
Yep.
We go to the bottom of the fourth. The Kernels trail Beloit 2-0. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
At Menards, we work hard to be the best in our stores and on the track. Right now, in honor of Dale Earnhardt Jr., save an additional 8% off Menards' guaranteed low prices. That's right. Everything in the store is on sale. This week only at Menards. Take 8% off electrical, plumbing, and building materials. 8% off hardware, millwork, wall coverings, floor coverings, and much, much more throughout the store. Don't miss your chance to save big. That's 8% off everything in the store in honor of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Coupon is available at the store. So race into Menards for the 8% off Dale Jr. sale. This week only. Sale ends Saturday.
TV9's Our Town tour ends in Marquette, McGregor, and Prairie du Chien, the ports of discovery. Start with the stunning beauty of the upper Mississippi Valley. Add a big helping of colorful local history, plus a dash of tourism know-how. The result is a trio of towns you've got to experience. Our Town, Ports of Discovery. Brought to you by the Maquoketa Valley Electric Cooperative. Monday on KCRG TV9 News at 5 and 6.
We go to the fourth, and the Kernels get a break. Michael Collins puts the ball in play, and he's awarded with a base hit to the left side. The third baseman, David Winfrey, made a terrific play to his left to rob Michael of a base hit into left field, but then uncorking a wild throw high above the head of first baseman Chris Brown was Winfrey. It's his 28th error of the year, and the Kernels have a runner in scoring position for just the second time tonight against right-hander Kyle Waldrop. The batter is Drew Toussaint. Scored an infield single for Collins and a throwing error by the third baseman. Waldrop delivers inside, ball one. So Collins is at second on an infield single and a throwing error charged to David Winfrey at third. Let's see if Drew Toussaint in this 2-0 game can get Collins over to third base. Drew bounced out to second to open up the second inning. Waldrop comes set below the chin, and the pitch is squirted foul behind the plate. John Wagner is here from Intermec, and John, believe me, in 10 years in this league, I have seen many different styles and quality performance levels of the national anthem, and you rank in the top 5% that I've seen. Do you have formal voice training?
Yes, I was actually a music education major with an opera minor in college, and that's how I got a job in the computer business.
Oh, my goodness. That is, there's a strike to Drew. He's in the hole 1 and 2, and I have a feeling that you went to a liberal arts school.
I went to what was then called Northeast Missouri State, or now Truman State.
You bet.
So
that's up in Kirksville, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, very good school. And you do have a music background. Have you been to opera?
Just a little bit while in college, and a real short local stint, and life was too busy.
Well, your voice was... Did you rehearse for your performance tonight?
No, I warmed up a little out while I was out there, but that was about it.
Well, congratulations. It set the tone for a fun evening, Intermec night. Toussaint takes inside a fastball, 2-2 to Drew, right-handed batter. Collins at second. Look out! A pitch whistled foul into the Kernel bullpen as Toussaint swung late and sliced it foul. John Wagner, what are some of the other things besides making this fun, entertaining offering to your employees and their families? What else does Intermec do? Because universally around the town, not only with Kim Smith, I've never met a person that doesn't like working there. They love working there. What else do you do?
We work really hard with some of the local schools, especially some of the more impoverished schools. In fact, I'm a big brother reading buddy to a little boy at Polk School.
At Polk?
And we have other people that are math tutors and reading tutors, and so we also try to sponsor physical education activities for some of the schools, things like that.
Fantastic. I had no idea that Intermec was that intricately involved in the community in those meaningful and, well, let's face it, very rewarding and important ways. Toussaint slaps a pitch inside foul, and now Drew waves at a changeup, and he's down on strikes. Toussaint had a good at-bat. Drew fought off a couple of very tough two-strike pitches, but then the old let-up, the dipsy-do, got him swinging. 1 on, 1 out for Josh LeBlanc, who reached on an infield single in the second. Kernels are down in this one, 2-0. We're only in the bottom of the fourth inning on a beautiful Friday evening. There's not a cloud in the sky. The lights are on. The only sun is left is shining on the Trivision signs above the right field wall. Josh LeBlanc, a .253 batter, bounces it over the hill. Plouffe will charge. Trevor unloads, and he pulls the first baseman off the bag. It's an infield single for Josh LeBlanc. Let's see if Josh, with that strained hamstring, came out of that sprint okay. LeBlanc has been nursing a strained hamstring for the last 2 weeks plus, and sprinting down the first base line, Josh beat out that infield single. Trevor Plouffe did everything he could to try to throw Josh out, but his peg to Chris Brown was low, and Brown had to come off the bag, and Michael Collins goes from second to third. This is the Colonel best scoring chance of the evening. Warner Madrigal is up with runners at the corners, 1 out, and 2-0 Beloit. Let's see if Warner, who was kind of red-faced and embarrassed by tapping out to the left of the plate. It wasn't that he tapped out, it was that he didn't run hard down to first. There goes the runner, LeBlanc, a pitch inside, the throw to second. Josh steals it. The ball gets away from the second baseman, but only dribbles about 10 feet to the left of the bag. And Josh LeBlanc has stolen second. That's a big steal because it eliminates a conventional double play possibility for the Snappers. Now Kyle Waldrop goes to the rosin bag behind the mound. The right-hander is 5-6 on the year. He's facing the Kernels for the third time this season, and he's 0-1 in his first 2 starts with an ERA of over 7. Let's see if Warner Madrigal with the infield back can at least get a run home with a ground ball. The 1-0 to Warner. Tap to short, a run will score. LeBlanc goes to third. Collins crosses the plate, and the throw to first by Plouffe retires Warner Madrigal. Warner didn't try to overpower the ball. He knew that if he put the ball in play on the ground, he would drive in the first Colonel run of the evening. That's exactly what he's done to make it a 2-1 ball game. John Wagner, as far as the future goes for Intermec, the company just about 40 years old, or will be next year, it sounds to me like you have just hit the tip of the iceberg in terms of what you can do in your business model.
Correct, and we've just got some new technology that we have over 150 patents for that is called RFID label, tag label technology that we know it's going to be the future of the world, actually.
Really?
And we are poised with 150 of the patents on it.
Here's a broken bat looper over the head of the third baseman Winfrey. Jordan Wrench ties the game with a big 2-out single. He broke his bat, but was strong enough to punch it over the head of David Winfrey, the third baseman, into left field, and we're tied here in the bottom of the fourth inning, 2-2. Jordan Wrench with his 35th RBI of the season, and we're tied 2-2. And big 6'8" Gary Lucas comes striding out of the third base Snapper dugout to talk it over with his right-hander Kyle Waldrop. Kyle is certainly not pitched poorly in this inning. A couple of infield singles and then a broken bat RBI base hit by Renz, and we're tied at 2. And John Wagner, in layman's terms, if I've heard you right, is your technology going to enhance or replace barcoding?
It's going to enhance it. Imagine a label, but people have to go to it and scan it, where this label actually has its own little radio chip in it, and it can be within 6 to 10 feet of a scanning device, and it's automatically scanned. At large stores like a Walmart, they will have at the back entrance, they'll have this scanner, and as the parcels come through, instead of someone having to point and shoot, they just scan.
Now, how far is that from becoming reality?
Well, it's reality now. We already have it.
John, that's incredible. Chris Walston nubs the first pitch foul up the third base side. Chris was jammed. Well, John Wagner, came here so organized. I don't want to steer the direction of your visit here totally. You brought a portfolio or a folder. Are there some things in there we should cover?
No, we're fine.
Okay.
You're asking the great question.
Well, you're providing very understandable answers not only to me, but to our listeners. So that technology is in place right now, and it is cutting edge.
It's cutting edge, and we are rolling some of it out, and as more and more companies, large companies, demand it, and as the standards settle down, we will be on the cutting edge. In fact, people, even our competition, are buying rights to our products. Yeah.
Then you know you have something good.
Yes.
Ball or strike 2 to Walston. Wally, as Bobby Magianis calls, the lovable 6'6" first baseman's in the hole 1 and 2. Waldrop delivers, and here's a little roller foul punched off to the right, and it's still 1 and 2 to Chris Walston. The Kernels have tied the game here in the 4th inning, 2 apiece on Intermec night. John, do you actually have people go out into the field to do research, or is that done in-house?
No, we do. In fact, I'll go out and I'll ride routes, with truckers, or I will go to various sites, and we can survey their buildings to make sure that we have all the radio frequencies set correctly and people have coverage, et cetera, et cetera. We do a lot of out-of-house research.
Now, would you help a company as big as UPS, or do they have their own systems?
We've worked with UPS. We've worked with all the biggies.
A deep drive to left, way back at the wall, leaping is Deacon Burns. He can't get it. It's off the top of the wall. No, it's a home run. Chris Walston has belted a 2-run home run, and the Kernels lead it 4-2. Walston just now is being signaled by the umpire, David Warren, and the Kernel manager, Bobby Magianis, that he indeed has belted his 8th home run of the year, and the Kernels lead it 4-2. John Wagner of Intermec, I think some folks from your company are having some fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's a lot of cheering and clapping going on.
A 2-run homer by Chris Walston with runs aboard, and the Kernels have a 4-run 4th inning, and I think the Snappers are going to make... Well, now, wait a minute. Kevin Bowles is contesting the call by the base umpire, David Warren, or the plate umpire. No, David Warren, the base umpire. The ball went to the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. Deacon Burns, all 5'6" of him, leapt at the wall. The ball hit the top of the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, then dropped down to the field. And that's what caused all the confusion and commotion, John Wagner, is I couldn't tell initially whether the ball cleared that wall 16 feet high and left. And the only person who really probably knows that would be our folks from Metro Studios, who have at their discretion a replay of that home run by Walston. In fact, we may send Julia Jansen, our broadcast assistant, over to Metro and see if indeed they can determine whether that ball was really a home run. I think it was a home run, as Deacon Burns leapt high at the wall. It certainly hit the top of the wall. The question is, did it skim the very top of the wall, which is a home run, where the wall is actually level with the picnic pavilion? That I don't know. Well, excitement galore. Kevin Bowles returns to the third base Beloit dugout. Chris Walston has belted his 8th home run of the year. He now has 20 RBIs, and the Kernels have scored 4 runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning to take a 4-2 lead over the Snappers. 2 out, and Nate Sutton will try to reach base to keep this prosperous 4th inning going for the Kernels. Change up, or check that, a slider is inside, ball 1 to Sutton. Nate wrapped out to his counterpart, Luke Hughes, at second base, his first time up. And he does it again, slapping a 2-hopper to Hughes, who one-hands it, and the short toss to first gets Nate Sutton and ends the Kernel 4-run 4th inning. 4 runs on 4 Kernel hits. 1 Beloit error, and the Kernels leave. The base is empty. John Wagner, on behalf of the Kernels, thank you for being such a supportive and loyal partner to wholesome, affordable family entertainment. We certainly hope that your employees and their families have a memorable time here tonight.
I'm sure we'll enjoy it. I'm sure we'll be back next year. This is such a wonderful facility, and everything's so well run. It's a pleasure just to be here.
Thank you for those kind words.
Thank you, sir.
John Wagner from Intermec, very, very kind to give us his time and answer all of our questions here during the fourth inning. He's going to rejoin his colleagues and compatriots down below, but first he's going to get a dilly bar from Dairy Queen. You can't leave without that, John. We go to the top of the fifth inning, and the Kernels now lead the Snappers 4-2. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Summer is a perfect time to enjoy fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center has the finest quality flowers and plants for both indoors and out. Plus, as always, all the expert advice you need to make your plants grow their best. Whether it's a single fresh flower or an entire wedding, a single household plant, or a yard of landscaping, Peck's does it all. Family-owned and serving Eastern Iowa since 1956. We've been proud supporters of Kernels Baseball for over 10 years. Peck's offers you the best plants and flowers available. Peck's is also your professional FTD and teleflorist florist with a certified garden, nursery, and landscaping center. Peck's is your year-round growing center and flower headquarters. Stop in for Peck's fresh flower feature, fresh-cut short-stem roses, just $9.95 a dozen, cash and carry. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery, and Landscaping at the corner of Blairs Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast.
Your Cedar Rapids and Marion High-Bees are proud to support one of our community's most renowned and cherished assets, the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion High-Bees believe in the core values that comprise the essence of Kernel baseball: fun, wholesome, affordable entertainment for us all. As you look ahead to the many joys of summer, your Cedar Rapids and Marion High-Bees encourage you to visit the fabulous new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion High-Bees, embracing Kernel baseball, a community treasure.
And Kernel broadcast assistant Julia Jansen did have a chance to at least go over, I think, to the Metro Studios replay booth, and we'll get what she found out, if anything, on that disputed two-run homer by Big Chris Walston that broke a 2-2 tie. The Kernels lead it 4-2, and it's a 1-1 count on Corey Feiner, the catcher. Well, Julia, I know things are busy. Here's a high pop foul, and Chris Walston drifts onto the grass between the Kernel dugout and the first base line, and Chris puts it away. Corey Feiner opens up the Beloit fifth by fouling out to first. Julia, any type of replay that was discernible?
No, it looks like a home run to me.
Yeah, I thought it was too. I really did, and I'm not just saying that. Although you can see why, with that wall being white and the baseball being white, it's not easy to tell.
No, it wasn't real easy to tell on the camera either, but...
Okay. Indisputable.
Yeah, they didn't want to do the replay, I think, just because it was getting disputed on the field.
Oh, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Well, Julia, tell us about Terrence Patterson's third at-bat at this game.
Well, he had a single and scored in the third inning, grounded out in the first. He's looked at strike one from Fernando Rodriguez in the 0-1 pitch. He tapped right to Sean Rodriguez to make the diving catch at it, but it bounced first. He threw over to first, bounced off the tip of Chris Walston's glove and rolled into the bullpen, so he's standing safely at second base.
Yes, he is, Julia. They ruled it an infield single for Terrence Patterson, and then a throwing error on Sean Rodriguez, E5. Boy, Sean had to go a long way to his left to cut that ball off, and then his throw, as you said, skipped in the dirt. Chris Walston could not block it, and as a result, Patterson goes to second on the throwing error by Sean Rodriguez.
So now the Snappers have a runner at second with one out here in the top of the fifth. The batter is Deacon Burns, John's favorite player for the Snappers. And Deacon is a left-handed batter, uses a white ash bat with bright white batting gloves. Kernels lead the game 4-2. And the first pitch to Deacon Burns is strike one. Kernels scored all four of their runs in the bottom of the fourth inning, and then the Snappers scored two in the top of the third. Now the 0-1 pitch from Fernando Rodriguez bounces up tall right above us and goes straight down to someone underneath us. Hopefully no one is injured on that play. Nope, everyone's good. A little kid got a souvenir.
He sure did, Julia. An adult who doesn't even know him gave him the ball, and now they high-five each other.
So no balls and 2 strikes to Deacon Burns, the left fielder for the Snappers. Throw back down to second base to send Terrence Patterson diving in safely. Casilla will hand deliver that ball to Rodriguez and send a few messages his way. It's interesting listening to the Intermec discussion about barcodes. I've seen refrigerators with the barcodes where you just scan what you put in your refrigerator, and then as soon as it runs out, you scan it, and you could hook it up with Peapod internet service.
You're kidding me.
And then they'll just deliver the same exact product to your house as soon as it runs out. You can pick like one day to go shopping, and then once a week these groceries just arrive at your door, and it just knew what you wanted, exactly what size and what kind.
Unbelievable.
Pretty amazing.
You've seen that?
Yeah, I was on the home shows that came through. Yeah.
Wow.
So the 0-1 pitch to Deacon Burns was driven foul down the first baseline and drilled into a few feet, so he has no balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. The Snappers have a runner on second. That's Terrence Patterson, reached on a single and then a throwing error by Sean Rodriguez. And the 0-2 pitch is chopped foul again. It bounces over the Kernels dugout and into the seats.
Burns is a pretty tough out, isn't he, Julia?
Yeah, he will seem to make contact with anything that's in the strike zone.
You know who he reminds me of is a left-handed hitting Kirby Puckett. Kirby was not a big man, but he had the Deacon Burns desire. You watch this kid play, Deacon Burns. He'll be a big leaguer because of his desire.
So now the pitch from Rodriguez. This looks like trouble. It's a towering ball that's lifted into left field. That won't be out of here, but Drew Toussaint is underneath it to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Terrence Patterson will hold at second base, and that will bring David Winfrey, the third baseman for the Snappers, to the plate. Winfrey's hitting .321 against the Kernels.
Let's let our listeners know, Julia, that we'll have our Springhouse question in the bottom of the 5th inning. That way you can serve it up and I'll answer the phone, because I know you've got to skedaddle in the 6th inning to do your favorite thing, which is sell those tennis balls for the Mercy Care Community Physicians Launch-A-Ball.
They do go quickly.
Yes, they do, especially when you're the one peddling them.
So the first pitch of David Winfrey is a ball low and away outside for ball 1.
Your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse will come in the next half inning, the bottom of the 5th.
The right-handed Winfrey swings and pops the ball into the suite, and a few people diving in the suite up there, and dribbles down into the seats below, making a lot of the kids here happy tonight. They've had a lot of foul balls.
Hey, a kid's wearing a batting helmet. That's getting to be more and more common these days. Kids like batting helmets as much as caps.
That looks like one of our reading program batting helmets, Don.
It sure does.
And now Fernando Rodriguez Jr. delivers his 1-1 pitch, but hits David Winfrey. That's only the second batsman who's ever hit this season. Now the Snappers have runners at first and second. 2 outs.
Julia, I kind of threw you for a loop. Fernando had a hit batsman in his starts against Beloit, one, but that is his 9th hit batter, and I just put it in the wrong column for you. That's my clerical mistake. That is the 9th batter that Fernando has struck this season. Not an inordinately high number for 20 starts.
So now Jeremy Pickrell, the right fielder, takes a look at ball 1. That's low, 88-mile-per-hour fastball. Kernels lead 4-2. We're in the top of the 5th. 2 outs. Jeremy Pickrell, the left-handed batter, has a 1-ball, no strike count. Fernando Rodriguez Jr. fires for ball 2, just a little outside. It's a breaking pitch. Mr. Shucks is down in the plaza section, entertaining the group from MCI with their lime green shirts on tonight. And the Cedar Hills Hawks are also here. They were the baseball team that was on the Dream Team.
From Cedar Hills?
Yep.
Well, that's great. I know you had a big contingent of Dream Team members, and from Intermec and from Cedar Hills.
They brought their full gear. Their catchers came out ready to go. They could have played in the game if something happened to Michael Collins or Tim Duff.
Isn't that great to see, Julia, that kind of spirit and initiative by youngsters? That's what the Cost Cutters Dream Team is all about, is making that kind of impact on youngsters.
Well, it was a big Dream Team today, but I think everyone had a really good time. Everyone still got autographs and a ball. Happy first Kernels game to Gavin Scheffner.
You won't forget it.
Anita Lucy, our guest here.
No.
Autograph ball from the Kernels, and pretty cool experience to come to America and go to a minor league baseball game. So Pickrell swings and misses for strike 2. He has a 2-2 count. 2 gone here, top of the 5th.
Are the deuces wild?
The deuces are wild, John. Pickrell uses a reddish burgundy-looking bat, and he gets a hold of one and taps it. Looks like a Baltimore chop right to Fernando Rodriguez. He threw to first, and it looks like there was almost an interference with Chris Walton, but they'll charge him an error on that play. The ball got past him and went over into the bullpen. So then there was no RBI in play. The Terrence Patterson, who was on second, scored on the play, and David Winfrey advanced from first to third, and now Jeremy Pickrell had a double on the error by Chris Walton at first base.
Yes, he winds up at second. They won't credit him with a double, but you're right, Julia, the throw from Fernando, he had to rush on that high chopper back to the hill, and he threw it to the home plate side of first. Chris Walton, to avoid a collision, couldn't catch it, and now it's a one-run game. 4-3 Kernels. Unbelievable the luck this ball club, and I now am saying luck. That was a good play by Fernando Rodriguez, but he threw it to the inside of the bag, and now we need to get Chris Brown if we're going to keep the lead here in the 5th inning.
First pitch to Chris Brown was strike 1, and the 0-1 pitch he gets a hold of at the end of the bat and taps it right in front of the Kernels dugout for strike 2. So he's quickly in the hole. 0-2 with 2 outs here. The Snappers have runners at second and third. In just a one-run game, they scored 1 here in the top of the 5th. So the Kernels lead 4-3.
Wow. Fernando Rodriguez's throw was wild and a run scored, and now in order to maintain the lead, we've got to get Chris Brown, who bats from a very deep crouch.
I said that incorrectly before. I said the error was on Chris Walton. That was incorrect. The error was on Fernando Rodriguez.
Yes, and you called it right, Julia. Walston, to avoid being struck by the runner, I don't think could fully extend like he wanted to.
His arm was in the way of the runner, and he even got spun around in half of a circle there when the runner went through first base. So now the 2-2 pitch to Chris Brown is low for ball 3. Full count. 2 gone, top of the 5th. Kernels lead 4-3. Chris Brown has a shin guard on his left ankle and almost needed it on that pitch. He swung and tapped it off foul in between his legs. It's a 40-mile-per-hour pitch.
Well, this is a big pitch coming up, Julia. 2 out. 2 runners in scoring position, 4-3 Kernels, and perhaps this next pitch will determine the outcome of the ball game.
And there it is, the payoff pitch. Gets driven right into center field. It bounces a few times in front of Josh LeBlanc and throws in, and the Snappers score both of their runners. One who was hit by a pitch and now has scored, and then Jeremy Pickrell, who had gotten to first on a throwing error by Fernando Rodriguez. So he gets a 2 RBI single
after striking out twice. Boy, this ball club has gone through some tough times. You feel so bad for Fernando Rodriguez. That little chopper back to the hill, he rushed his throw to first, wild throw, and sure enough, on a 3-2 pitch, a guy who had struck out twice served it into center field for a 2-run single, and kaput goes the Colonel lead, 5-4 Beloit. Unbelievable the luck this ball club has incurred.
Trevor Plouffe watches strike one sail by. So there's a runner at first now. As John said, a 5-4 lead by the Snappers. They've scored 3 here in the top of the 5th. They scored their first 2 in the top of the 3rd. Colonel scored all 4 of their runs in the bottom of the 4th. And now Plouffe taps one right to Nate Sutton, who flips over to Chris Walton for a 4-3 play. That will end the inning for the Snappers, but not before they scored 3 runs on just 1 hit. Or they had 2 hits in the inning, They had 2 errors by Colonel players, which were the ones that ended up scoring. And they also had a hit batsman who scored. So only one person who had a hit ended up scoring, getting around the bases. So 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. They left 1 man on base. They stranded 4 in the game. The Snappers lead the Kernels 5-4. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th, along with our trivia question. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
When we met, it's spaghetti, we would never forget the Giano's. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. Zio Giano's is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember Zio Giano's with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
We move to the bottom of the 5th inning, a 1-run game that's now in favor of the Beloit Snappers, a 5-4 lead. Snappers scored 3 runs in the top of the 5th after the Kernels scored all 4 of their runs in the bottom of the 4th. Alexi Casilla leads it off for the Kernels. First pitch to Alexi Casilla is strike 1. And now the 0-1 pitch is driven straight back up the middle, and it trickles into center field. Alexi Casilla starts off the 5th inning well for the Kernels with a leadoff single. Lexi's had a pretty good night. He had a single in the 1st inning. He was caught stealing and then grounded out in the 3rd, but now he's started things off well for the Kernels in the 5th inning. John Rodriguez, third baseman tonight, stands in at the plate. His big black bat, white batting gloves. The Snappers almost look like the Chicago White Sox when they have their batting helmets on, and then they switch to green hats when they take the field, and makes it look like a completely different team. Sean fouls off pitch for strike 1, sent that way over the Papa John's Plaza.
The hit and run was on. Casilla was running, and Sean trying to hit behind the runner.
There's a throwback to first, and Casilla dives in safely. The outfield plays John Rodriguez straight away. Nothing unusual about it. And the flag out there at the 403 mark is completely limp.
You know, it's funny you mention that, Julia. It is completely limp, yet there's a nice breeze blowing through the broadcast booth.
Yeah, it feels good up here today. It was a little warm yesterday. It says 84 degrees, both in the booth and out. The 0-1 pitch. Sean swings. That was a hit-and-run play because Alexi Casilla made it safely in at second base. There was a throw, but it was not in time. It actually got behind the second baseman, and Alexi stayed at second base. Now he's on second. Sean Rodriguez has an 0-2 count. There's no outs here in the bottom of the fifth. 1-run game, 5-4 lead by the Beloit Snappers.
Sean did a good piece of hitting in the sense he didn't make contact with the pitch, but he swung and missed the pitch, but protected Alexi, who stole the base. It was a throw, as you said, Julia, from Corey Feiner that was way off to the right and late. Alexi with his 29th stolen base of the year. Now a base hit would tie the game.
And the 0-2 pitch is way outside for ball one. Didn't look like Sean Rodriguez really wanted to swing at that pitch for the second strike, but he saw that Casilla was running and just kind of decided at the last minute, well, I'll swing here to slow the catcher down.
That's exactly what is called protecting the base runner. That's exactly it, Julia.
So Casilla's on second, and Sean Rodriguez watches ball two sailing a little low. So his count is now even at 2. Still no outs. Michael Collins is on deck. He's knocking his helmet with his bat. I'm not sure if he's dancing to the music or what. The 2-2 pitch. Sean Rodriguez is going to give this a ride deep into center field. At the 400 mark, Terrence Patterson makes the catch and throws in. Alexi Casilla tagged and slides in at third. That was a close play, but he was safe. So Sean Rodriguez did his job.
Yes, he did, Julia. Not only did he do his job, but very, very daring base running by Alexi Casilla, because with the play in shallow center, Patterson's throw made it very, very close. Head first, not even really a dive, but almost like a belly flop, and a torpedo slide by Alexi puts him in scoring position with only one out. And now the snapper infield comes in for the play at the plate. Michael Collins has a chance to tie this game here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
Michael Collins had a single in the third, and here he goes. He dumps one deep into left field. It's bouncing off the wall. The left fielder, Deacon Burns, bobbles it around and finally picks it up. And Michael Collins is standing safely at second, and he gets an RBI double because Alexi Casilla was at third and scored on the play to tie the game at 5 apiece. That is Michael Collins' 44th RBI.
Well, what a great sequence for the Kernels. Here comes Gary Lucas, the snapper pitching coach. Casilla dashing from second to third on the fly ball out into center by Rodriguez, and then it didn't take Michael Collins long to crank that double down the left field line. The Kernels have now out-hit the Snappers 8-6. We're back even at 5-5. And Julia, before we get to our Springhouse trivia question, what's on tap tomorrow evening at the Springhouse?
Well, tomorrow night, if you go in, you can try their slow-cooked pork ribs Friday and Saturday night. It's so tender it falls right off the bone, and they're open till 8:30 tonight. So you can stop by and enjoy some of those slow-cooked pork ribs.
And they're open till 8:30 tomorrow evening for those slow-cooked pork ribs. If you've been one of our previous 51 Springhouse trivia question winners, congratulations. You've already earned a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. And if you have, play along at home wherever you're tuned in. But please don't call in this evening. That'll give the legions of other Kernel fans their fair shot at that $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse.
First pitch to Drew Toussaint is bounced straight up the middle. A diving second baseman Trevor Plouffe couldn't make the play. And Michael Collins wasn't on base for long. He scored from second base. And now the Kernels have a 6-5 lead. They lost it briefly there in the bottom of the fifth, and maybe all their extra practicing last night and the day before is starting to pay off.
I've got a hunch it is, Julia. This ball club looks very inspired and determined. and they had every reason to hang their heads after that 3-run top of the 5th inning, but they've come back, and Toussaint bouncing that ball up the middle for his 46th RBI, driving home Collins, and it's 6-5 Kernels. After this first pitch to Josh LeBlanc, who's 2 for 2, Julia will have that Springhouse trivia question for you. I'll be answering the phone.
Here is your trivia question. Actor Billy Bob Thornton plays the coach of a Little League team in the remake of the movie Bad News Bears. Who starred as the coach of the Little League team in the original 1976 hit Bad News Bears? Our phone number here is 896-7589. Again, that's 896-7589. If you have an answer for who the coach of the Little League team in the original Bad News Bears was, why don't you give us a call? And now the first pitch to Josh LeBlanc is seared right past Luke Hughes at second base. He makes a diving play for it, but it gets through. And now we have 2 men on. Drew Toussaint is at first. Drew Toussaint is at second, and Josh LeBlanc is now at first. He's 3 for 3 tonight. He's had a single at each at bat. He had a stolen base and scored in the 4th inning. And the catcher Corey Feiner is out having a conference with the pitcher. Both bullpens are active for the Kernels and the Snappers. Now the home plate umpire, Mark Evans, ran out to make the conference break up. It's a gorgeous night here at Veterans Memorial Park. We have a bright blue sky above us. The sun is just set. The lights are on. Great crowd here on hand. Kernels now have a lead 6-5. There's only 1 out. And now here comes the manager for the Snappers. We will have a pitching change here. We'll get the name of the new pitcher in just a few moments. Looks like we might have a winner on our trivia question already.
So, Julia, let me help you out with this new pitcher. We'll see who it is. But while I spot who the new pitcher is for Beloit, as the Snappers lift the starter Kyle Waldrop, Tim Doherty has correctly answered our Springhouse trivia question. Julia will repeat the question, and then I'll give the answer that Tim Doherty, D-O-R-T-Y, correctly called in with. Because, Julia, at your young age, you probably never heard of the actor who played the original coach in the Bad News Bears. But let's take it from the top, Julia.
All right, our trivia question tonight was actor Billy Bob Thornton plays the coach of a Little League team in the remake movie Bad News Bears. We want to know who starred as the coach of the Little League team in the original 1976 hit Bad News Bears. And congratulations to Tim Doherty of Cedar Rapids. He answered that correctly. It is Walter Matthau.
Yes,
there we go.
Julia, that's great. Have you ever heard of Walter Matthau?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't spell it right, I'll tell you that. I think he passed away recently. He was a star on the comedy hit The Odd Couple back in the 70s. And he did play he played the coach in the original Bad News Bears. You told me that you have a tough time getting that movie.
You know what? I haven't seen it. That's one of those movies like so many other classic baseball movies out there that I want to see, and I just don't. Well, I'm a college student. I can't afford to go buy them, so I go and I try and check them out from the library for free, and it's always checked out.
Well, it's that good a movie, and Walter Matthau was the star. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but first, Julia, a new hurler, Josh Hill for Beloit.
That's right. Josh Hill is 2 for 5. He has a 4.40 ERA. He's pitched in 21 games, given up 69 hits, 37 runs, 35 of those were earned, 4 home runs, and given up 33 walks with 56 strikeouts. The league is hitting .257 against Joshua Hill. So after that pitching change, Warner Madrigal is at bat. The Kernels have runners at first and second. There's one out here in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch is way inside to Warner Madrigal. He had to jump back out of the way to avoid getting hit by a pitch. That would have loaded the bases. Kernels have a 1-run lead, 6-5 in favor of the Kernels. Jordan Renz is on deck. And the 1-0 pitch is ball 2 outside, 87-mile-per-hour fastball.
Believe it or not, this is Josh Hill's 5th season with the Minnesota Twins as a minor leaguer, and he's from Sydney, Australia.
I was noticing that they have 3 players on the Snapper team that are from Australia. Michael Collins is our lone Australian. There's strike 1 to Warner Madrigal, and the catcher threw down to first to send Joshua Blanc diving back in, but he was safe. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Warner Madrigal. 1 out here still in the bottom of the 5th. Kernels have already scored 2 runs. They lead the game now 6-5. Warner Madrigal holds the bat high above his head. Has it turning in slow circles, and now he bounces the ball to the third baseman, who they turn a double play. It went from David Winfrey, the third baseman, to Trevor Plouffe, to Chris Brown at first. Double play. That was a 5-4-3 play. They nabbed Josh LeBlanc, who is running to second base. So the Kernels ended the inning with 2 men on, but not before they scored 2 runs to take the lead here on 4 hits. There were no errors. And the the Snappers left 2 men on. They stranded 4 here in the game.
Yeah, you were right, Julia. We left 1 man on in that inning. The Kernels did. That's all right.
So now we are on top of the Snappers, 6-5. It's been quite an interesting game here. We'll be back with the 6th inning. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here in the zone.
Do dragonflies really breathe fire? Maybe we can't answer a thought-provoking question like that. But Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance professional at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, can answer all your insurance questions. Phil Andrews is an insurance expert, and he can help you with all kinds of protection: auto, home, life, health, and business. Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews, has all the right answers for the right insurance coverages for you and your family.
Right now at Carousel Ford, pay what Bill Ford, his employees, and their families pay. Save up to $9,400 on Ford's F-150 Extended 4x4, the #1 selling truck in the world for 29 years running. Save up to $4,045 on the car that begs to be driven, the Ford Focus. Carousel Ford has just what you're looking for. Right now, the Lincoln Mercury Family Plan means big savings on your new car purchase. Save up to $6,000 on the car that exudes elegant performance, the 2005 Lincoln LS. Save as much as $6,400 on the roomy Grand Marquis with its responsive V8 engine. Carousel Ford, Lincoln Mercury, and Roush Performance, where you'll find your best selection, your best price, and your best people. Intersection of Highways 218 and 1 in Iowa City.
Jansen bring us the 3 of the first 5 innings here this evening, and she said it's been a topsy-turvy affair so far. The Kernels out to even this series with Beloit at a game apiece, and the Kernels lead it 6-5. We've out-hit the Snappers 10-6. Let's give you the final line on the departed Snapper starter, Kyle Waldrop. He was making his 20th start of the year, his 3rd against the Kernels. Kyle went 4 1/3. The right-hander surrendered 6 Kernel runs on 10 hits, struck out 3, walked 1. And the fun continues as Johnny Woodard will lead off here in the top of the 6th inning for the Snappers against Fernando Rodriguez, who delivers a strike on the outside corner, a fastball. 6-5 Kernels on Intermec night and Pat McGrath's Chevyland used car giveaway night. Johnny Woodard, who belted a 2-run homer in the 8th inning last night to tie the game at 4, is 0 for 1 tonight. A walk and a run scored in the 3rd, and then a strikeout. He swings and misses, strike 2. Ooh, a fastball just outside, apparently. It's 1-2 to the left-handed batter, Johnny Woodard. 6-5 Kernels. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. A delayed ruling by Mark Evans, the plate umpire, but that for Fernando Rodriguez is his 5th strikeout of the evening. 5 strikeouts for Fernando Rodriguez. Jesse Smith is warming up in the Kernel bullpen. Tim Doherty, our winner of the $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse, had an important message he wanted to share with all the listeners this evening. Tim, who lives on 29th Street Northeast, said, "Go Kernels." Tim spells his last name D-O-R-T-Y, and he identified Walter Matthau as the star of the movie in 1976, the original hit, Bad News Bears. A 2-0 pitch is chopped to shortstop. Alexi Casilla gloves it, and from near the bag at second, whips his throw to first. Luke Hughes is now 0 for 3. The number 8 hitter has bounced out to short, and there are 2 gone in the Beloit 6th inning, with the Kernels ahead by a run, 6-5. Our record here at home in the second half is 9-7. The Snapper road record in the second half is 8-4. 2 gone for Corey Feiner, who's 0 for 2, and he jumps on the first pitch and fouls it straight back. Strike 1 to Feiner, right-handed batter. Wears his gray slacks down low near the tops of his shoes, and has a 2-tone color bat, a white ash handle and a black barrel. Feiner bats from a low squat, and the next delivery is high and away to Corey Feiner. Yes, actor Billy Bob Thornton will play the coach of the Goofy Little League team in the remake of the Bad News Bears. It opens tonight nationwide. I would imagine that would include the City of 5 Seasons. Billy Bob Thornton will star in the remake of Bad News Bears. It was Walter Matthau who starred in it in 1976. Tatum O'Neal was a little girl on that Little League team. A 1-2 delivery, swung on and missed, and the ball was kicked by Feiner. It was in the dirt, and he kicked it while he was running to first, so he's automatically out, and that put-out will go. Strikeout and then a put-out for the catcher, Michael Collins, as Feiner kicked the baseball trying to run to first base on the pitch in the dirt. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and for the second time tonight, Fernando Rodriguez sets the Snappers down in order, 1-2-3-0 across. After 5.5 on this beautiful Friday evening at the ballpark, the Kernels lead Beloit 6-5, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
If you're a business owner like me, whether you own a small shop or a large corporation, when it comes to building a new facility, you know it, the process can be overwhelming. And if you're concerned about getting the building you need on a limited budget, you call Anthem Steel for a pre-engineered steel building. Look around and you'll see that more and more businesses, churches, and schools are using steel buildings to save time and money. For as little as $17,000, you can buy a 40 by 60 foot building from Anthem Steel. Anthem Steel has a high-quality solution for almost any size building you need. Churches, schools, or gymnasiums. So call us right now for a free quote. 800-708-3093. That's 800-708-3093. Even for manufacturing, warehousing, or retail buildings, you know it. You can call Anthem Steel right now for a free quote. 800-708-3093. That's 800-708-3093.
Iowa Realty sells more homes in Lynn and Johnson counties than any other real estate company. This success is no accident. Innovative use of the internet, TV exposure, newspaper, and direct mail allow Iowa Realty to provide the latest in marketing tools to their agents and clients. Serving the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City corridor, Iowa Realty's 150 full-time realtors offer the best in real estate, mortgage, and escrow services. Iowa Realty, pleased to be Eastern Iowa's best source for professional real estate service.
Jordan Renz with a 2-out RBI single back in the Kernel 4-run fourth inning, tied the game at 2. Jordan has walked and produced that run-scoring single. He was aboard when Chris Walston socked his 8th home run of the year to tie the game at 4 back in the 4th, or to put the Kernels ahead 4-2 back in the 4th inning. Renz is trying to reach for the 3rd straight time, and the Australian right-hander, 6'3", 225 Josh Hill, brings in a strike called. The 0-1 to the right-handed hitting Renz is smoked to shortstop. Trevor Plouffe knocks it down, picks it up, to throw to first, not in time. Jordan Renz has reached for the 3rd time in a row. They'll credit him with a base hit. He hit a scalding liner, a one-hopper that really ate up Trevor Plouffe, the 19-year-old shortstop. Plouffe did well to knock that bullet down, and then it rolled a few feet in front of him. Trevor picked it up and whipped it to first, not in time. And check that. That is not a base hit for Jordan Renz. They have charged Plouffe with an error, and that is the 2nd error committed by Beloit tonight. There goes Renz. A swing and a miss by Walston. The throw to second, and Jordan is a goner as the tag is made by Trevor Plouffe. It was a hit and run, and Chris Walston could not, even with his reach across the plate, could not put the bat on the ball, and so Renz, who reached on an error by the shortstop, is gunned down at second by Corey Feiner. The play went 2-6. Chris Walston just unable to put the bat on the ball. He did his darndest but couldn't do it. Now a big curveball, an old roundhouse, 12-6, and a swing and a miss by Walston, strike 2. Let me tell you, this Josh Hill is some pitcher. We've seen him 2 other seasons in the Midwest League. His fastball is low. Hill pitched in 2 games with Quad City in 2002, then pitched in 26 games for the River Bandits in 2003. He is a very good pitcher. Chris Walston stays alive as he laces the 1-2 pitch foul into the Kernel bullpen, where Michelle Samar is guarding, protecting Jesse Smith. It looks like Jesse will come on to work the 7th inning. Fernando Rodriguez, in quest of his 6th victory, went 6 innings tonight and gave up 5 runs on 6 hits. Jesse Smith will likely take over in the 7th inning for the Kernels, who lead it here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Smith will likely take over in the 7th. Kernels 6, Beloit 5, ball 2 outside to Chris Walston. A 2-run homer his last time up put the Kernels ahead 4-2. A curve is popped a mile high down the 3rd baseline. It now drifts into shallow left, and Trevor Plouffe, backpedaling in front of the left fielder Deacon Burns, tucks it away for the 2nd out of the inning. Chris Walston hung in well on that curveball, but hit a towering pop-up to shallow left, where Plouffe, the shortstop, caught it for the 2nd out here in the 6th inning. It'll be interesting to see. I'll be tuning into Al Gruwell, our official scorer, when he gives the official final line on Fernando Rodriguez. How many of the 5 runs Fernando surrendered in his 6 innings were earned? I have no idea how many of the 5 runs were earned off Fernando Rodriguez. Nate Sutton dribbles a 1-0 pitch foul outside of 3rd. Nate has bounced out to 2nd twice tonight. 2 gone in the Kernels 6th inning. Nobody on. 6-5 Kernels. Outfield plays the Kernel number 9 hitter straight away. Sutton, a left-handed batter, lays off a fastball upstairs, ball 2 from Josh Hill. Hill was 7-4 in 21 starts and 5 relief appearances for Quad City in 2003 with a 3.95 ERA. A fastball is cut on and missed, strike 2 on Nate Sutton. Josh Hill pitched twice against us in our series. We'll check that. We'll get back to that as Sutton rams the 2-2 pitch foul away to the left. Josh Hill pitched 7 1/3 innings in a starting role against the Kernels May 23rd in Beloit. Gave up 3 runs, 2 earned on 3 hits. Walked 6 in that Kernel victory at Pullman Field back on May 23rd. Ball 3 rides above the letters, and it's a full count now to Nate Sutton. Jesse Smith has completed his bullpen work. He'll come on to face the Snappers in the 7th inning. What will the score be? And the 3-2 pitch to Sutton. Nate squirts it foul straight back. The count remains full to Sutton. Right now, the Kernels own a 1-run lead, 6-5. Fernando Rodriguez pitched with a lot of heart tonight. He hurt himself with a throwing error. And there's ball 4 to Sutton. The ball winds up halfway to the backstop, but Corey Feiner retrieves it, and Nate will stop at first base. Sutton draws a 2-out walk here in the 6th inning, and Alexi Casilla will now try to reach base for the 3rd time tonight. Alexi is 2 for 3, has a run scored, and has been caught trying to steal second once, and has also successfully stolen second base. Sutton may be running with Casilla lunging over the plate. Switch hitter batting left. Alexi bats from a very, very low crouch. And Josh Hill's first pitch is taken just inside, ball 1, a fastball. Hill also pitched against us here at Veterans Memorial Stadium in relief back on May 2nd. He pitched 4 shutout innings of relief to earn a save. The 22-year-old Australian right-hander drops a curveball in for a strike to Casilla. Josh Hill is working out of the snapper bullpen for the 14th time this year. He started 8 games. He's 2-5 with a 4.40 ERA, and he does have 2 saves, one of them against us back in early May. Casilla clubs the 1-1 pitch foul off the plate, and it rolls to the backstop. Alexi's in the hole 1-2. It was great to hear from Casey Mutter's father. Ron Mutter, thank you so much for your kind and complimentary email. We're glad that you think we provide the best entertainment in minor league baseball here in the zone, and we're certainly delighted and honored that you tune in every night out in California to Kernel Baseball. Ron Mutter, the father of Casey, very kind to send us an email about how much he enjoys our broadcast. Casilla bounces the next pitch foul into the Kernel dugout. It's still 1-2 on Alexi. 9 o'clock here in eastern Iowa. 7 o'clock out in Rialto, California, where Ron Mutter is tuned in. Casey Mutter's father. Sutton at first. Hill set. Nate not running, and a pitch is dribbled to third. Fielded by David Winfrey, who guns out Alexi Casilla. Alexi Casilla hit a soft bouncer to third, and he's gone to end the Kernels' 6th inning. For the Kernels in the 6th, no runs. No hits, 1 Beloit error, their second of the evening, and the Kernels leave a runner. We've stranded 4. We'll tell you about the U.S. Cellular speed talk call to the Kernel bullpen when Jesse Smith takes over, I believe, on the hill in the 7th inning. After 6 at the ballpark, we've got a humdinger. Kernels lead Beloit 6-5. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball in the zone.
The Cedar Rapids Kernels want to give your child a chance to hit a home run. By picking up a free reading scorecard at the Kernel Stadium gift shop, kids can keep track of their minutes and earn great rewards. Along with Toyota Financial Services and the Gazette, the Kernels encourage you to open the world to your children by reading with them. If your kids hit a home run this summer by reading 1,000 minutes, the Kernels will recognize their accomplishments on the field at Reader Recognition Day in August.
1.99%. That's the kind of low interest rate you might hear about on a new car. But when was the last time you heard about a 1.99% interest rate on a mortgage? Now, for a limited time, that's just what you can get from Quicken Loans, with an introductory rate of just 1.99% on the exclusive Smart Choice interest-only loan. Call Quicken Loans at 800-919-1722 now to see if Smart Choice is the right choice for you. If it is, your house payment could be lower than your car payment. With a $200,000 loan, your payment would be just $330. Whether you're purchasing or refinancing, call 800-919-1722 for the 1.99% Smart Choice loan, exclusively from Quicken Loans. Call now, 800-919-1722. 30-year mortgage interest-only payment for the first 10 years. Initial interest payment and rate of 1.99%. APR 4.114%. Fixed for first 6 months. Adjusts every 6 months. After 6 months, payment is $687.50. Quicken Loans is an equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. Call for details.
Here's how the line score reads through 6 innings at the ballpark. 6 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors committed by the Kernels, 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 miscues for the Beloit Snappers. We welcome out of the Kernel bullpen, thanks to U.S. Cellular, Jesse Smith. This is a U.S. Cellular speed talk call to the Kernel bullpen. Jesse Smith, right-hander who last worked Friday. Well, that can't be right. Has it been a week since Jesse Smith has pitched? Let's double-check that. We'll look back into our book, and then we'll get... No, Jesse Smith pitched 3 innings and got a save in the Kernel 10-6 drubbing of the Peoria Chiefs on Tuesday afternoon. So Jesse last worked on Tuesday of this week. Ball 1 is a fastball high and tight to Terrence Patterson. Terrence is 2 for 3 as the leadoff batter tonight and has scored twice. He's a right-handed batter. He's only 5 feet 7 inches tall. And he fakes a bunt. A Jesse Smith fastball is in for a strike to Terrence Patterson. I want to apologize. Al Gruwell is not our official scorer this evening, and I'm not sure if it's Eric Olson or Rod Schulte, but we do have the final line on Fernando Rodriguez. A ground ball foul outside third, hit softly by the leadoff batter. Fernando Rodriguez Jr. in his 20th start of the season worked 6 innings. Gave up 5 runs, only 2 earned on 6 hits in 6 innings. Fernando fanned 6, walked 1, and he hit a batter. Jesse's next delivery is a swing and a tip foul. Oh, Michael Collins just could not hold on to that tip foul, and it gives Terrence Patterson another chance. That's a tough break for the Kernels and Jesse Smith. Michael Collins unable to hold that foul tip, and he goes out to talk it over with Jesse Smith. Jesse pitched 3 innings in relief of starter Carl Jelena in the Kernel victory in Peoria, and Jesse earned his first save on Tuesday afternoon. 3 innings pitched, 1 run in 3 innings on 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks. 25-year-old Kernel right-hander out of Lincoln, Nebraska, Jesse Smith is on the hill. Jesse was taken in the 6th round in 2003 by the Angels, and he's trying to put away Terrence Patterson as the leadoff batter here in the 7th inning. A curve is low and away in the dirt, and it's 2-2 to the small right-handed batter, Terrence Patterson. Beloit is hitting .285 against our ball club in 9 games this season. That's phenomenal. .285 average. Strike 3 called. Jesse Smith with a blistering fastball on the outside corner, and he catches Terrence Patterson looking for strike 3. 1 out, and the batter is Deacon Burns. Deacon is singled tonight, and after that first inning single, he was picked off first. Then he delivered a 2-run, 2-out triple on an 0-2 pitch in the 3rd inning. We finally got him as he flew out to left in the 5th inning. Deacon Burns leads the league with 30 doubles and now 11 triples. Backdoor breaking pitch, and it's in for a strike to Deacon Burns. Left-handed batter, has 109 hits in 97 games. He's 5th in the league in hits. A changeup bounces in the dirt, and it's ball 1 to Burns. 1 out, top of the 7th inning. Kernels ahead by a run, 6-5. Have out-hit Beloit, 10-6. A ground ball sharply hit underneath the glove of Chris Walston into right, and that's the 4th Kernel error of the game. Deacon Burns reaches on a gift. Chris Walston was in good fielding position, got down on that ground ball, but it still got underneath his glove into right, and Deacon Burns is aboard on the 4th Kernel error of this game. Jesse Smith has relieved for the Kernels, started, and now he's back helping the ball club in the bullpen. Smith's record, 4 wins, 6 losses. He started 15 games for the Kernels. This is his 8th relief appearance. He'll try to pitch around that 1-out error, the 4th of the night by the Kernels. Ball one is taken outside, a fastball to David Winfrey. Winfrey is fourth in the league in hits with 108. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. He's 0-for-2, and the next pitch is low for ball two. A fastball. Jesse Smith takes a trip briefly on the backside of the slope. Smith has pitched 97 and 2/3 innings this season and surrendered 111 hits. Jesse has struck out 73 batters in 97 and 2/3, walked 32. Winfrey takes a home run cut and misses, strike one. David has belted a Beloit high 10 home runs. He leads the league with 73 runs driven in, and he's tied for fifth in the Midwest League with 25 doubles. David Winfrey. The league is hitting .289 against Colonel right-hander Jesse Smith. A tap to second. Sutton will throw to second. Out. Casilla to first. Not in time. Chris Walston did the split, and that was a bang play at first base. And safe was David Winfrey to keep the inning alive. Nate Sutton on a bouncer to second. Fed Alexi Casilla for the force of Deacon Burns. That went 4-6. And then Alexi's throw was a very strong one to first. And the base umpire, David Warren, flashed safe as David Winfrey just did, apparently, beat the relay throw from Casilla. I thought we honestly turned a magnificent inning-ending double play, but David Warren, the base umpire, didn't see it that way. So Jeremy Pickrell, a twin 10th-round pick last season out of Illinois State, will bat with one on, the tying run at first, 2 out. A pitch in the dirt and smothered by Michael Collins. It's ball one to Michael. Or that's ball one to Pickrell. Jeremy Pickrell has reached his last 2 trips up on errors. Grounded to second in the second. Aboard on a Alexi Casilla error to open the 4th inning, and then reached safely on a Fernando Rodriguez throwing error and scored in the Beloit 3-run 5th inning. 6-5 Kernels. Top of the 7th, and a curveball down and in, and a swing and a tip foul off the front instep of Pickrell. Jeremy is hobbled by that. He's trying to walk it off outside the batting circle, or outside the batter's box on the perimeter of the circle. He does a deep knee bend. Pickrell, as Julia Jansen told you earlier this evening, is wearing a pair of bright white batting gloves. He spits into them and now tightens the reins on those white batting gloves. Winfrey at first has 1 steal in 3 tries. Beloit is 12th in the 14-team Midwest League in stolen bases. Smith's next delivery is high, a fastball. Jesse Smith, making his 8th appearance out of the Colonel bullpen, a 4-6 record and a save. That save was Tuesday afternoon in Peoria. The runner not going, and a chopper to the right side. Sutton has to go back into shallow right, and he throws in time. Nate Sutton had to go very deep into the hole, and from shallow right field, Nate threw out Jeremy Pickrell. Across his body is how the throw was made by Sutton. He made a dandy play to keep the Snappers from keeping this 7th inning going. In the Beloit 7th, no runs, no hits, 1 Colonel error, our 4th of the evening, and the Snappers leave a runner aboard. They've now stranded 5 tonight. 7th inning stretch on Intermec night, as well as Pat McGrath's Chevyland used car night. After 6.5, the Colonels still own a narrow 1-run lead over the Snappers. It's 6-5 Colonels. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Mom! Dad! I got in! Oh, that's wonderful, honey.
Oh, my little girl's going to my alma mater.
No, Dad. Harvard!
Harvard.
Dad?
Got unexpected tuition payments? Call your guarantee banker.
Dad, Bill just hit a home run right through the neighbor's window.
The Murphy's window?
No, the Wilsons.
Oh, the big window.
Need a loan? Talk to your guarantee banker for a loan that's right for your kind of life.
Dad, there was this red light thingy in your car that said to check the engine. So I did, and it was still there. But, then it started making these gross noises and stuff. And then some really cute guy who stopped to help me said that the engine was, frozen. Yeah, that's possible in the summer.
Need a car loan? Talk to your Guarantee banker for a loan that's right for your kind of life.
Guarantee Bank. For your kind of life.
Member FDIC.
We've been telling you for some time that Greg's Lawn Service is a cut above the rest when it comes to caring for your lawn. However, Greg's experienced staff does so much more than lawn care. They offer complete landscape design and installation, concrete curb edging, grading, sodding, and hydro seeding. Yes, Greg's is a complete lawn care service, and they welcome the opportunity to show you why they are a cut above the rest. Give Greg's a call for more details about their wide range of services.
Right-hander Josh Hill is on the mound, on the hill, and he misses outside with ball one. And then the next pitch is a fastball away, ball two to Sean Rodriguez. Rodriguez, 0-for-3 tonight, batting .268. Sean has struggled against snapper pitching. He's 4-for-30 now on the year, so he's due. Ball three from Josh Hill, the Australian right-hander. Kernels in their all-white uniforms with red numbers trimmed in black. Beloit in their gray road unis with green hats and dark blue bills. 3-0 to Rodriguez, nips the inside edge of fastball. Well, I thought Scott Unash was on vacation. I tuned into the zone and didn't expect to hear the 19th hole this afternoon. Scott was on the air. Ball four sails high and in, and Sean Rodriguez is aboard on a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the seventh inning. 6-5 Kernels. Michael Collins is 2-for-3, has scored twice and driven in a run. Collins may be called upon to bunt here, or the Kernels could try a hit and run. Sean Rodriguez has been nursing a sore knee in the second half, and he's really curtailed his running game quite a bit. He's still second to Alexi Casilla in stolen bases with 21. But Sean's been caught 10 times. Is Collins bunting here in the bottom of the seventh? We'll see as a toss to first sends Rodriguez back. It was wonderful to hear Scott Unash on the air this afternoon in the zone on the 19th hole. Scott enjoyed a trip to the Twin Cities and listened to quite a bit of talk radio. Said they're talking more about the White Sox in Minneapolis in the Twin Cities than they are in Chicago. That stands to reason. The media, in my opinion, is very, very much in the Cubs' corner in Chicago. I don't think they give the White Sox nearly their due for the most part. Ball one is high to Michael Collins. Now a curve from fellow Australian Josh Hill is in the dirt, and it's 2-0 to Michael. We mentioned that Beloit was hitting .285 against us this season. We're only hitting .210 against the Snappers, but have out-hit them tonight 10-6 and lead the game 6-5. But we're only hitting .210 against Beloit in 9 games. Strike one is a fastball on the inside corner, and it's 2-1 to Michael. The Kernels, ranked last in the league in hitting, we're batting .248 as a team. 76 home runs in 97 games. That puts us fourth in home runs. And the Kernels are tops in the league in stolen bases. That continues to be a very exciting part of our game every time out. Rodriguez not running, and the 2-1 pitch is flared foul on the ground past Bobby Magallanes, the Kernel skipper coaching at third. 2-2 to Michael Collins. Michael takes the trip all the way out towards the border of the dirt batting circle. This Beloit pitching staff is ranked 8th in the league. They're tied for 8th with a 4.42 ERA. That's tied for 8th of 14 teams. But against us, their team ERA is 3.49. Collins chokes the bat a bit. And the 2-2. Rodriguez running, a swing and a miss, and the throw to second. Sean steals it, and the Snappers want interference called on Michael Collins. Collins swung and missed at a changeup below the knees. He was protecting Sean Rodriguez on a hit and run, and the catcher, Corey Feiner, is appealing to the plate umpire, Mark Evans, that Collins impeded his throwing arc, but not so, says Mark Evans, and a big stolen base for Sean Rodriguez. He's in scoring position for Drew Toussaint. Drew bounced a single through the middle back in the 5th inning to put the Kernels ahead 6-5. That's the score by which we lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Drew Toussaint. 1 for 3 with that RBI single. Lifts it in the air to left. Deacon Burns has to move in just a couple of strides, and Deacon has it. Drew Toussaint swinging at the first pitch, hoisted into the left field for the second out of the Colonel's 7th inning. And here's Josh LeBlanc, who's working on a 3 for 3 night. LeBlanc is 3 for 3 tonight. We'll have a full roundup of all the scores on the Colonel Curtin call on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. And I have a feeling one of the reasons Iowa Sportscaster of the Year Scott Unash returned from vacation earlier today was so that he could be a part of the fun, bringing you the Hawkeye Downs racing scene later tonight. Josh LeBlanc is going to be walked intentionally. Left-handed hitting Josh LeBlanc is being put aboard on purpose by Josh Hill. There's ball 1, and now ball 2. On deck is Warner Madrigal. Warner is nothing for 3 tonight. Delivered a run home with a ground ball out back in the 4th inning, and hit into a double play his last time up against this hurler, right-hander Josh Hill. Physicians Clinic of Iowa, the exclusive health care partner of the Kernels, proud to bring us our Physicians Clinic of Iowa injury report. Josh LeBlanc, who'd been shelved for over a week with a strained hamstring, is fine and in the lineup tonight. Freddie Sandoval remains on the sidelines, not on the disabled list. Freddie was struck by a pitch Tuesday in Peoria in the Colonel victory, and Freddie remains day-to-day with a sore left knee. Freddie Sandoval, the only casualty to report on our Physicians Clinic of Iowa injury report, and he is not on the disabled list. 2 on, 2 out for Warner Madrigal, the right-handed batter with a .229 average. Warner has belted 11 homers, has driven in 35 runs. Rodriguez at second, LeBlanc at first. Hill delivers. A curve, and that one is pulled foul over the head of Colonel manager Bobby Magianis. Strike 1 on Madrigal. Physicians Clinic of Iowa, quality health care close to home right here in Cedar Rapids. Physicians Clinic of Iowa has 50 board-certified physicians in 11 specialties. And I can speak from firsthand experience that they are the best. Dr. David Terse and Dr. Keating have both performed successful operations on old John Rogers. One for a cyst and one for a torn meniscus. Dr. Keating and Dr. Terse both practice out of Physicians Clinic of Iowa. Swing and a miss on a fastball. 90-mile-an-hour hummer that Madrigal missed, and it's 0-2 to the Colonel designated hitter, Warner Madrigal. Oh, it's cooled off. It's delightful here. 83 degrees. That weatherman wasn't trying to scare us all the way from the ballpark. It's delightful here. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. Warner Madrigal down on strikes, and the strategy pays off with Hill walking LeBlanc to get to Madrigal, and Warner went fishing for a curve and didn't get it. No runs in the 7th for the Kernels, no hits, a pair of walks. There were no snapper errors. The Kernels leave 2 men aboard and have stranded 6 tonight. After 7 at Veterans Memorial Stadium, Kernels 6, Snappers 5. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball here in the Zone.
The answer is 9 holes for $9.
9 holes for $9.
And the question is, why is the Zone's 9 for 9 golf tour better than a stag party?
9 holes for $9. Any weekday, play 9 holes at the Hillcrest Country Club in Mount Vernon, the Vinton Country Club, Wapsipinicon Country Club in Anamosa, and Wildcat Golf Course in Shellsburg for just $9 when you join the Zone's 9 for $9 golf tour. Play around and be sure to register for a Hot 6 custom club fitting from the golf headquarters, Nevada Bob's. One lucky winner will be selected from each course. The Zone's 9 for $9 deal. Tee it up at Hillcrest Country Club in Mount Vernon, Vinton Country Club, Wapsipinicon Country Club in Anamosa, and Wildcat Golf Course in Shellsburg. 9 holes every weekday for just $9. Cart not included, and you'll need to check with courses in advance for availability. Another unbelievable offer from your friends at
The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Play your next round of golf at Hillcrest Country Club in Mount Vernon. Just 15 minutes east of Cedar Rapids on Highway 30, this picturesque 9-hole course features scenic hills, ponds, and creeks. Hillcrest Country Club is on the Zone's 9 holes for $9 tour, and Monday through Friday, mention the Zone, and you can play 18 holes for $18 with cart included. Be sure to check ahead for course availability. Enjoy the relaxed atmosphere of Hillcrest Country Club, 203 Country Club Drive in Mount Vernon.
Right-hander Jesse Smith in relief of starter Fernando Rodriguez. Pitched around a one-out error in the 7th, and Jesse will do his best to protect this narrow Kernel lead. He'll face Chris Brown, Trevor Plouffe, and Johnny Woodard, the numbers 5, 6, and 7 men in the Beloit order. Want to say hello to Rod Schulte. Rod is our official scorer this evening. I just was out getting my favorite mixture, the Arnold Palmer that I enjoy, a tea and lemonade, and I saw Rod Schulte. Strike one from Jesse Smith on the outside corner to Chris Brown. Brown bats from a very, very low crouch, and there's a changeup from Jesse. Strike 2. Chris Brown is struck out twice. He delivered a big 2-out, 2-run single back in the 5th inning to give the Snappers a 5-4 lead. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, and Chris Brown is down on strike. Second strikeout for Jesse Smith. One gone here in the Snapper 8th inning. The Kernels overcame that 3-run 5th inning and scored 2 in the bottom of the 5th, and that's where we are now, top of the 8th, 6-5 Kernels. Our Did You Know question is spawned this evening from our discussion a few nights ago. I think we were in Peoria when I told a story about the term screwball came up. And it's a pitch that isn't used much at all anymore. A line drive into right, and it's a base hit. It wasn't hit as hard as I thought. Trevor Plouffe poked it off the end of the stick, and it went to the left of Nate Sutton into shallow right. Trevor Plouffe has his second hit of the night, and the tying run aboard with 1 out here in the 8th inning for Beloit. The 3 best screwball pitchers I remember were Mike Marshall, a right-handed screwballer, Fernando Valenzuela, and I only know of Carl Hubble because I've read about him. But that's where our Did You Know question comes from concerning the origin of the term screwball. Ball 1 inside almost hit the left-handed batter, Johnny Woodard. Did you know that the term screwball was first used in conjunction with the King, Carl Hubble, in the minor leagues in 1928? After warming up Carl Hubble before a minor league game in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, a catcher by the name of Earl Walgamot said, referring to Hubble's best pitch, "That's the screwiest thing I ever saw. A high, lazy pop-up into shallow left center. Drew Toussaint comes on, calls, and has it." Johnny Woodard, who homered with a man at first and 1 out in the 8th inning last night to tie the game at 4, has flown out to shallow left for the 2nd out here in the 8th inning. Let's give you that origin of the term screwball again. After warming up Carl Hubble before a minor league game in Oklahoma City in 1928, catcher Earl Walgamot said, referring to Carl Hubble's best pitch, "That's the screwiest thing I ever saw." Thus was born the term screwball. And I know Andy Pantini well enough, our director of entertainment, a few doors down. He's chuckling underneath his breath, and he's saying, "No, Rogers, quit fibbing to the listeners. The term screwball was coined in conjunction with you." Andy loves giving me a fun, hard time. A bouncer to short. Alexi Casilla looks at second, but with his momentum carrying him towards first, Alexi throws out Luke Hughes. Luke Hughes bounces out to short, and that does it for Beloit in the 8th inning. Jesse Smith has been golden out of the Kernel bullpen for 2 frames. Holding the Snappers scoreless in the 8th inning for Beloit, no runs, a 1-out single, 1 hit, no Kernel errors. The Snappers leave a runner. They've now left 6 aboard in 8 at-bats. The Kernels come to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll have a little bit more on our Kernel Did You Know question, the origin of the name Screwball, the pitch Screwball, when we return. After 7.5, it's still the Kernels on top of Beloit, 6-5. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was news anchor for Channel 2. Now, with gas prices at $2 a gallon, check out Randy Kill Honda and save with great fuel mileage on all Hondas in stock. The safest family sedan, the Honda Accord, will definitely save the family pocketbook with 34 miles to the gallon. Get even better mileage with a compact Civic, getting you there at 38 miles to the gallon. Or check the amazing fuel mileage of the Honda Civic Hybrid, 48 miles to the gallon, and that's in city driving. Randy Kill Honda has a large selection of pre-owned Hondas, too, all with exceptional fuel mileage. Check them out at www.randykiel.com. Also, Randy Kiel offers a 7-year, 100,000-mile confidence guarantee on new vehicles. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. I'm saving on gas prices by driving my Honda, and you can too. See Randy Kiel Honda on Center Point Road, Northeast.
Mike and Mike in the Morning's Just Shut Up Award is about more than merely pointing out stupidity.
It's about the Bill of Rights and basic cable, car waiting, and free trips to the salad bar. It's about everything that makes this country great.
Yes, it's about freedom. Freedom for people to say something completely moronic.
Shut up!
And it's also about the freedom for you to tell that person to just shut up. So exercise that freedom. Tuesday mornings with Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN Radio.
Well, the Kernels would sure like some insurance as Mitch Arnold starts to warm up down in the Kernel bullpen. Lefty John Williams takes over and faces Jordan Renz. Renz has reached 3 times tonight. A walk, an RBI single, a run scored, and last time up he reached on an error by shortstop Trevor Plouffe. Strike 1 in, a changeup from lefty John Williams. Bottom of the 8th inning, 6-5 Kernels, and good news, 2,947 taking in the action tonight. Wren swings hard and whistles the pitch foul into the net. It's 1-2 to Jordan. John Williams, a southpaw, a Twin 7th-round pick in 2004 out of Middle Tennessee State. 23 years old. A curve, and that one is grounded softly foul in back of third base, knocked down by David Winfrey. The final line on reliever Josh Hill, the Australian, he went 2 2/3, blanked the Kernels, no hits, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks. John Williams, a left-hander, working the bottom of the 8th inning for the Snappers. 6-5 Kernels. A change-up, and it's low and inside. And ball 2 to Jordan Renz. Mitch Arnold pitched here last night and gave up a run in 2/3 of an inning. A change-up, and Jordan Renz reaches out and swings through it. Strike 3 on Jordan, who is retired for the first time tonight. Well, John Williams is a tall lefty who wears his dark blue socks up high, and he's 2-3 on the year. This is his 29th appearance out of the Beloit bullpen. Williams 2-3 with a 4.50 ERA. Chris Walston, who slugged his 8th home run of the year to give the Kernels a 4-2 lead back in the 4th, tips the first pitch foul straight back from lefty John Williams. Now a fastball in for a strike. Williams, 2-3, 4.50 ERA, no saves. John has pitched 54 innings. Swing and a miss on a 3-pitch strikeout of Chris Walston by lefty John Williams. getting back to our Colonel Did You Know question, the origin of the term screwball in baseball, the first real screwballer was Hall of Famer Christy Mathewson. Christy Mathewson made the pitch famous, but it was called a fadeaway. It was called a fadeaway, not a screwball. It was Carl Hubble who was involved in the origin of the word when he was warming up in the bullpen in 1928 as a minor leaguer, and his catcher said, "That's the screwiest thing I ever saw." But Christy Mathewson threw the old fadeaway. Nate Sutton takes a strike and now fouls one behind the plate, and Nate's in the hole 0-2 facing the southpaw John Williams. 2 out, nobody on, and a changeup in the dirt. Nate held up, took it for ball 1. Corey Finer is catching for the Snappers, and he looks like a catcher. He's bow-legged and kind of stumpy. He just looks like a catcher. Yeah, Mike Marshall was a tremendous screwball pitcher, and so was Fernando Valenzuela Jr. Carl Hubble, they called him the king. Some think he's the greatest lefty ever. Others will say Carlton, Koufax, or Spahn. Swing and a tip foul into the glove of the catcher, and wow, John Williams fans the side in the bottom of the 8th inning. Williams struck out all 3 Colonel hitters. Mitch Arnold is answering a U.S. Cellular speed talk call to the bullpen. Arnold will try to save it for Fernando Rodriguez. After 8, Colonel 6, Snappers 5. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Are you in debt way over your head? Do you have $4,000, $6,000, $10,000, maybe even more in credit card bills? Want to get out of debt? Gather those bills and let the agencies offering Care One Credit Counseling Services help you. Here's our number: 800-233-4985, 800-233-4985. If you're behind in paying your medical bills, your personal bills and loans, and you've been on the receiving end of one collection call, and you want to stop those calls immediately, call Care One Credit Counseling Services for a consultation and debt analysis. Some of our customers save up to 57% on their monthly payments. If you're over your head in debt, gather your bills right now and call Care One Credit Counseling Services for your consultation, debt analysis, and licensing information. Here's the number: 800-233-4985, 800-233-4985. That's 800-233-4985.
Ouch! One of the fears of waste handlers, getting stuck by a needle without any warning. It's not only painful, what's even worse, they can be exposed to a life-threatening illness. Here's how to safely dispose of used needles and syringes. Put them in a sealed container like plastic bottles. Better yet, in official Sharps containers. Then they're ready to be put in your trash for curbside collection. By following these simple steps, you're reducing a potential hazard to waste handlers. Your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling appreciate it.
A U.S. Cellular speed talk called the Colonel bullpen. Mitch Arnold, 6'8" right-hander, is on the hill, and Mitch will face a pinch hitter. Dwayne White is coming off the Snapper bench. Dwayne White, a left-handed batter, hitting for Corey Finer. Here to open up the Beloit 9th inning, Jesse Smith played the role of setup man to a T tonight. Jesse spun 2 shutout innings in the Snappers, gave them 1 hit, struck out 2, and walked none. Dwayne White is the pinch hitter for Corey Finer, the catcher. Finer was 0 for 3. Dwayne White's a left-handed batter, .273 hitter, 2 home runs, 27 RBIs for Dwayne White, a pinch hitter. Mitch Arnold pitched last night, 2/3 of an inning, allowed a run on 2 hits, struck out none, walked 1. Dwayne White is from Cowley County, Kansas Community College, 22-year-old left-handed batter. The first pitch is ball 1 low from Mitch Arnold. 6'8", 235-pound right-hander. Strike 1 called on the outside corner to White. Mitch had some season with Provo last year. The 1-1 is bounced to the hill. Gloved by Arnold. Fires to first for the out. Boy, Mitch Arnold didn't mess around. He came right after the pinch hitter and got Dwayne White, to bounce right back to the mound. One gone here in the ninth inning, 6-5 Kernels. Mitch Arnold last year with Provo, 2-0 in 25 relief appearances, 13 saves. In 32 2/3 innings, he allowed 12 hits. He struck out 41 batters in 32 2/3, walked 14. He was a big part of the Provo Angel Pioneer League Championship team. Terrence Patterson on the first pitch, loops it foul over the grandstand roof behind home plate, strike one. 6-5 Kernels. Mitch Arnold with the 0-1, over but low, a ball. Josh LeBlanc, our center fielder, told Jack Rader, our general manager, earlier this summer that when Arnold pitched in Provo, the guys could have gone out to the diamond without their gloves. That's how overpowering Mitch Arnold was. Ball 2 is low to Terrence Patterson. One out, nobody on, top of the ninth inning. A high pop foul. Michael Collins discards his mask and has it in front of the Beloit dugout. Michael Collins came right over to the entrance of the Snapper dugout to the home plate side near the on-deck circle, and Michael Collins caught that foul pop. 2 gone here in the top of the ninth inning. We've been searching for a take-charge closer all season long. This is Mitch Arnold's 11th appearance out of the Kernel bullpen. He's 0-2 with 3 saves. He's trying to save this one for Fernando Rodriguez and help the Kernels even the series at a game apiece. The batter is Deacon Burns, one of the best hitters in the league. Pass ball outside to Deacon, ball 1. Burns tonight, 2 for 4, with a 2-run triple, his league-high 11th of the year. Strike 1 on the outside corner from Mitch Arnold. Mitch is trying to help Fernando Rodriguez notch his 6th win of this season. The 1-1 is a split-fingered pitch in the dirt. It was a real privilege to meet Mitch's folks outside O'Brien Field earlier this week. They were visiting from Wyoming. The 2-1. Tap to second. Charged by Sutton. Tosses the batter out. And the Kernels have won it. 6-5. The Kernels are 6-5 victors here tonight, and even the series at a game apiece. Well, Mitch Arnold gives the Kernels a big lift. So did Jesse Smith. Nate Sutton threw the batter Deacon Burns out to end the game. Mitch Arnold brushes aside the Snappers 1-2-3, nothing across in the top of the ninth inning, and the Kernels win a 1-run game. They're now 6-3 in 1-run games in the second half. Down in order, Mitch Arnold sets the Snappers in the top of the ninth inning. Kernels 6, Beloit 5. Totals, highlights, and more coming your way next on the Kernel Curtain Call here in the Zone.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
KCRG TV9's Our Town Tour stops next in Coralville.
Time was when Coralville was sort of a suburb of Iowa City. Not anymore. Folks there realized that they had a key asset. Location. Well, they took advantage of it, made Coralville blossom, and you'll see the result. Our Town Coralville, brought to you by the Lynn County REC. Tonight on KCRG TV9 News at 6.
The road to adulthood is a slippery slope. It starts off innocent enough. At 14, you leave your bike in the garage because it's cooler to walk. Next, the part-time job, dating, and a driver's license. At 18, voting in college, then a full-time job and marriage. And now you're just a whisper away from playing bridge with the neighbors. The cure? Ironically, it's a bike. Not the one you abandoned, but the one you'll discover at Hall Bicycle Company. Reclaim your youth by flying down the street on a road bike or sliding down a slippery slope on a mountain bike. The folks at Hall's will help you find the right bike for you. And because their staff is merely disguised as adults, you're more likely to get a high five than a high-pressure pitch. So before you start knitting a sweater, get over to the brick building on 2nd Avenue at 5th Street and see for yourself that the world looks better on a bike. Hall Bicycle Company, since 1898.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Kernels game, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Well, the Kernels have been scraping, clawing, and fighting all season long, and tonight they got the winning formula in order. 3 shutout innings in relief of Fernando Rodriguez, the starter by Jesse Smith and Mitch Arnold. The bullpen was rock solid tonight, and the Kernels win it 6-5 to even the series against Beloit at a game apiece. This is the first segment of the Kernel Curtain Call on Friday night, where a crowd of 2,947 saw the Kernels fall behind in the 3rd inning. With 2 out, Beloit had runners at 1st and 2nd, and Deacon Burns on an 0-2 pitch sliced a 2-run triple into the left center field alley, scoring Johnny Woodard and Terrence Patterson. Deacon Burns hitting over 400 against Kernel pitching this season with a 2-run triple in the 3rd, gave the Snappers a 2-0 lead. The Kernels answered with a 4-run 4th off Beloit starter Kyle Waldrop. Michael Collins got it started with a ground ball infield single. David Winfrey then fielded it and threw it away. Collins went to second base. After Drew Toussaint struck out, Josh LeBlanc reached on an infield single, a squirter to shallow short. LeBlanc stole second to put runners at 2nd and 3rd and only 1 out. Warner Madrigal, with the Snappers ahead 2-0, delivered home Collins with a ground ball out to short. On to 3rd went LeBlanc. Jordan Renz then tied the game as he looped a broken bat single into shallow left over the head of Winfrey at 3rd. That brought home LeBlanc and tied the game at 2. With Renz at 1st and 2 out, Chris Walston connected for his 8th home run of the year, a 2-run home run by Walston that gave the Kernels a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 4th inning. It was a home run that skimmed the very top of the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion and left, and the Beloit skipper, Kevin Bowles, wasn't vehement or disrespectful to the base umpire, David Warren. He just came out and said, "How did you see that one?" And Warren assured the Beloit 30-year-old manager that it did indeed just sneak over the 16-foot high wall and left. The 2-run, 2-out homer by Walston made it 4-2 Kernels. But Beloit took advantage of a couple of Kernel errors and recaptured the lead in the top of the 5th inning with a 3-spot. 1 run scored on a throwing error on a comebacker off the bat of Jeremy Pickrell. The pitcher, Fernando Rodriguez, was unable to throw it accurately enough, and it was to the first base side of the bag. Chris Walston had to actually kind of crunch up to avoid being rammed into by Pickrell, and the throwing error, just had a real sharp twinge in my left hamstring that came out of nowhere like a shot, so let that try to get back into place. When you get into your 40s, I guess that can happen. And after the error that made it a 4-3 game, Kernels, a 2-out, 2-run single by Chris Brown through the middle, capped the 3-run snapper fifth. And the Kernels were discouraged, understandably, after giving up 3 runs in the 5th inning. But trailing 5-4, the Kernels scored the final 2 runs of the contest in the 5th inning. And it was Alexi Casilla who was 2 for 4 tonight, getting it started with a base hit through the middle. Alexi now owns a 10-game hitting streak. Casilla stole his team-high 29th base of the year and then took a chance, a daring advancement on a fly ball into shallow to medium center by Rodriguez. Alexi darted to third and beat the throw by the center fielder Patterson, slid in safely. He was at third with only 1 out. Michael Collins doubled him home to tie the game at 5. And the first pitch to Drew Toussaint was grounded through the middle. That produced Collins home from second, and the Kernels led 6-5. That would be all the scoring. Fernando Rodriguez worked a scoreless 6th inning. In fact, he protected the Kernel newly earned lead by retiring the lower third in order. On came Jesse Smith. Smith pitched around a 1-out error in the 7th, the 4th error committed by the Kernels tonight. Jesse then didn't let a 1-out single bother him in the 8th inning, got out of that, turned it over to Mitch Arnold, who shut the door solidly on the Snappers, who did not get the ball out of the infield in the top of the 9th inning. Kernels 6, Snappers 5. Final line score: 6 runs, 10 hits, 4 errors for the Kernels. We stranded 6. The Snappers had 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. They left 6. Winning pitcher Fernando Rodriguez, 6-5. The loser for Beloit, Kyle Waldrop, he's now 5-7 and 0-2 against the Kernels. Mitch Arnold notched his 4th save of the year, working a scoreless 9th inning. The game took 2 hours and 39 minutes, and as I said previously, 2,947 were here to enjoy the Kernel 6-5 victory. We'll be back in just a moment and enjoy our Access Direct play of the game here in the Zone.
1 hour photo, speed dating, DSL for your computer. Everyone's in a hurry these days. Your professional Pekin insurance agent, Scott Draper of Sheets, Forrest, Draper & Marion, doesn't hurry when it comes to helping you with your insurance needs. Scott will gladly sit down with you and outline a solid insurance program just right for you and your budget. Auto, home, business, life, and health. Scott Draper, your hometown Pekin insurance professional in Marion, will give you the responsive, personal, unhurried service you deserve.
Tri-State Travel. That's a name most of you recognize as a leader in motor coach transportation. Our deluxe red, black, and white coaches offer comfort and convenience for both student and adult group transportation. Did you know we have the highest safety rating in the industry? We have a trained staff of drivers and can provide a coach to meet the needs of your group from 29 to 54 passengers. No other company can promise you all this and back it up with 65 years of experience. Tri-State Travel. We're in the phone book and on the web at tristatetravel.com.
The Kernels earn a split so far in the series, evening this series at a game apiece, and the ball club really deserves accolades this evening. They did fight hard, and they competed the way the coaching staff, Bobby Magallanes, Kernan Ronan, and Justin Bachman, have been trying to instill a fighting spirit and a winning attitude into that Kernel clubhouse. And the Kernels, thanks to 3 scoreless innings from relievers Jesse Smith and Mitch Arnold, win over Beloit this evening, edging the Snappers 6-5. The Kernel record now against Beloit this season stands at 3-7. Access Direct, all season long, proud to bring us our Access Direct play of the game. Access Direct is hiring. They're looking for team players, and you can look at what they have to offer in 2 ways. You could call Access Direct at 261-0260. That's 261-0260, or log on to their website at www.accdir.com. One of the main questions one asks when they're looking for anything in life, whether it be a vacation, a vocation, shopping, is what's in it for me? Well, Access Direct has a very solid answer to that question. Benefits are in it for you. Medical, dental, vision insurance, a 401k savings plan, an $8.50 an hour starting wage. Cap that off with full and part-time schedules and a fun, friendly atmosphere in which to work, and Access Direct may just be the right fit for you. And how often do you go into a position thinking, oh boy, I'm going to have to retool my wardrobe and buy a bunch of expensive suits or dresses? Not at Access Direct. It's casual dress. Now, it's time for our Access Direct play of the game. After Michael Collins doubled in Alexi Casilla to tie the game at 5 in the 5th inning, Drew Toussaint came to the plate against Kyle Waldrop with Michael Collins at second base. Let's enjoy our Access Direct play of the game.
First pitch to Drew Toussaint is bounced straight up the middle. Diving second baseman Trevor Plouffe couldn't make the play. And Michael Collins wasn't on base for long. He scored from second base. And now the Kernels have a 6-5 lead. They lost it briefly there in the bottom of the 5th, and maybe all their extra practicing last night and the day before is starting to pay off.
Yes, I concurred with Julia Jansen, our broadcast assistant. I thought the Kernels played like a team that did have a sense of urgency and a real fighting spirit here tonight. Our play of the game, Julia's call of Drew Toussaint's bouncer up the middle that plated Michael Collins and gave the Kernels a 6-5 lead, which they never relinquished tonight in a 6-5 triumph over the Snappers. We'll be back in just a moment with our final segment of the broadcast, the Colonel Curtain Call, that is, the State Farm Major League Scoreboard coming your way next here in the Zone.
At Zimmerman's, we believe that the voice of the customer speaks the loudest. Let's hear what our customers have to say.
We chose Zimmerman because our family has been buying cars. I guess we're probably the third generation to buy cars here at Zimmerman.
My family's bought 18 cars at Zimmerman's. 18. I ought to get a little bonus or something, wouldn't
We build our reputation on one satisfied customer at a time. On behalf of everyone at Zimmerman's, I want to thank you for your business.
Knowing who you are is important. At Kirkwood Community College, we know who we are. We are accessibility. We are quality. We are opportunity. We are community. Who are you? We can help you learn. Kirkwood.edu.
We're going to give Colonel Broadcast Assistant Julia Jansen just another second or two to gather her thoughts. Julia was scrambling all over here tonight. She orchestrated the Cost Cutters Dream Team. There were 2 teams this evening, and then she did 3 innings of play-by-play, then went down and once again sold all the tennis balls for the most popular new promotion here at the ballpark, the Mercy Care Community Physicians Launch-A-Ball, and now she's back in the saddle ready to go. Thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Dale Thompson, Lanny Peterson, and Al Shetler. Julia, have you had a chance before you give us the State Farm Major League Scoreboard to catch your breath?
Barely.
Barely. I can tell. You're not flustered. You're just busy. One of the best series in all of baseball, one of the best rivalries is unfolding on the banks of the Mississippi, the Cubs and Cardinals. And Julie, I think it'd be fun to start right there with the State Farm Major League Scoreboard. Where are they so far at Busch Stadium?
It is quite a game down at Busch Stadium. They are tied at 1. They're in the 11th inning.
Wow! Right after we sign off, I know where we're going to go.
Yeah.
One of our cable outlets, and let's see that. They're tied in the 11th, 1-1.
At 1 apiece. It's a pitcher's duel. A lot of goose eggs on the board. Then we'll move up to the beginning of the National League, some finals now. At PNC Park, Colorado has knocked off Pittsburgh 5-3. They were also in 10 innings. A lot of extra inning games tonight. At RFK Stadium, Houston trampled Washington 14-1. Down at Citizens Bank Ballpark, another extra inning games. In 11 innings, Philadelphia Phillies dumped San Diego 8-6. Then down at Shea Stadium, the Los Angeles Dodgers skimmed past New York Mets 6-5. In Cincinnati, the Milwaukee Brewers fell to the Cincinnati Reds 11-6. And we already talked about St. Louis and Chicago tied at 1 in the 11th. And at Bank One Ballpark, Arizona and Atlanta are underway. They're in the top of the 5th. Arizona leads Atlanta 2-0. And at SBC Park, Florida is crowning San Francisco 3-0. They're just in the 3rd inning there. Turning over to the American League at Comerica Park, Detroit has whipped Minnesota 12-6. at Jacobs Field in in Ohio, in Cleveland. Seattle trimmed Cleveland 4-3. Down at Tropicana Field, Tampa Bay nipped Baltimore 7-5. At U.S. Cellular Field, the Boston Red Sox fell to the Chicago White Sox 8-2. That's a good victory for Chicago. And in progress right now at Ameriquest Field, Oakland has offended Texas 3-0. They're still in the 8th, though. And at Kauffman Stadium, Kansas City is topping Toronto 5-3. They're in the top of the 9th. And in progress, our Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are facing the New York Yankees. They're in the 3rd inning, 2-1 lead in favor of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Julia, thank you. You did it. You got all of that in. It was a very busy night for you, and we thank you and State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Lanny Peterson for that State Farm Major League scoreboard. Yeah, it's an oven in here, Julia. The only reason I shut the windows is I was trying to hear the final lines on the great Colonel pitching tonight by Jesse Smith and Mitch Arnold, so we'll pop these open and have another final word from Julia. Julia, this ball club, as you said, when you said that Toussaint got the 2-out or the hit, that there are access direct play of the game, you hinted and said maybe the Kernels are taking some of all of this hard work, diligence, some might say punishment, the extra workouts. And Bobby Magallanes is trying to get these guys all in the same mindset, which is to be confident, to focus on their profession, to take care of their business, to work hard, and to get through some of these tough times. And sometimes the only way to come out of a tough spell, and we did it tonight with the win, is to just kind of keep working. It's that simple.
Yeah.
There's no magic speech a guy can give to do it.
That works for all the movies, but not in real life, right?
Not in reality, that's right. And I have a real good feeling that this win will be one that the Kernels can build upon and take more steps towards that 500 mark.
I agree, especially with the big crowd coming in tomorrow night. Everything should be exciting here.
Hey, a prelude to that, they're playing the Blues Brothers theme in the background, Sweet Home Chicago. Julia, we're going to hand the baton very quickly. I think Dale Brote has an update for us. So I think Dale might have an update on that Cub-Cardinal game, Julia, the way Dale very rarely... Dale, what do we got?
Well, old LaRussa pulled out all the stops in the bottom of the 9th. He had John Mayberry pinch hit. Mayberry tripled. Hector Luna was a pinch runner for Mayberry at third base. Then they got one out, and David Eckstein came in and delivered a squeeze play single to score Luna from third base. So the Cardinals win 2-1, John.
On a squeeze play?
Yeah, with one out in the bottom of the 11th.
By former Angel shortstop
David Eckstein.
Dale, you're the master. How did you get that much?
Oh, we were watching the updates on the computer in the next room.
That is incredible.
Yeah, I know it.
Dale, I know you didn't make Julia's night much more pleasant as a Cub fan, but you sure brought a smile to my face.
Oh, I know. You're a diehard Cardinals fan, and I don't blame you. You grew up as a Cardinals fan, and you'll be a Cardinals fan till the day you die, and probably after you reach the grave.
That's right. Believe it or not, Dale, I already have plans for that day. And Julia fits the same bill, only she's a lot younger, but she's a huge Cub fan.
Well, there's a lot of those around this place.
Yes, there are. Dale,
and a few Yankee fans, too, I hate to say.
Let's not ruin the show here.
Oh, all right. See you later.
Okay, Dale, thank you so much. Dale, that's wonderful news. I could tell that you had anytime Dale comes in, it's not just to exchange pleasantries. He usually has a pretty earth-shaking or important thing to add, and Dale, we thank you for that. Well, we thank you for being with us here in the zone. The Kernels 6, Beloit 5. Many thanks to Jake Lentz, our in-studio engineer. Jake's going to be sending it out to Hawkeye Downs, where Scott Unash will have the races for you. Thanks to Julia Jansen, who was scrambling all over this ballpark this evening, but as usual, did a first-class job. For Julia Jansen, I'm John Rogers, wishing you a great rest of your Friday evening. Remember, the Blues Brothers and Commercial Federal Bank fireworks. You can't beat that for fun and entertainment tomorrow evening. The gates open at 6, and we'll have the South Slope Communications Triple Play show for you at 6:40 tomorrow evening. 6-5 Kernels, this has been Colonel Baseball in the Zone.